And let me see. It's kind of loud. We are live, baby. Okay. So let's give it a second to get you guys in here. I'm Pinks, and welcome to Pinks University. Today, we have like this super cool message that I cannot wait to spit out because it's like almost juicy, even it's like a story to tell. So I thought that that was super cool. This is near future, and it's something that I feel like is going to make you really happy. It's something unexpected. I feel like whatever transpired before now, it was maybe hard. Maybe if you're closing out like a hard cycle, or there was just like some devastation um with a project, a person, in life in general. Something could be significant to just beating a dead horse, something that really, really mattered that you tried over and over and over and over. So we'll give it a moment, get everybody in here. I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in, sharing the live, commenting, liking the live. All of those things are free and very supportive, very much appreciated, and they help us help more people, build the community. And that's what I aim to do. I make sure the audio and everything is okay, and then we'll get started. I am so open to what do they call it? Self-promotion. So if you have businesses, websites, projects, feel free to tell us about it in the chat. If you have questions in between reading the cards, I will be answering questions free of charge, but your super chats are so appreciated. Okay. We'll be doing I think June coming up. Ooh, and what was so cool, like Western astrology doesn't talk about sometimes the cusp. And so in my astrology masterclass, we dive into the cusp. Like they have their own sign technically. So if I have any cusp people in here, this message is going to be so cool, so important for you. And what I appreciate, what brought the story together or what started it in the first place so that I could channel the messages were your astro dice. So I never really used them a lot before. And I said, these are so helpful because honestly, I read the top and around the dice and it told me like a perfect story where I knew it was very intentional. Like, you know how sometimes you just do things because you're a perfectionist or you're smart or whatever. But this was like totally out of my norm. And my eyes went exactly to like what planet or what house to put together after putting July. After putting July there, and then Jupiter's over here on the side. So we are talking about Jupiter and Cancer. If you guys have been keeping up with the May forecast, we talked a lot about like this love, opportunity, these portals of opportunity. Now, if you're not into love, that's okay, because your love could be for wholesomeness, peace, prosperity, career. You know what I mean? And Venus, Cancer, or some of these signs could fall in those houses for you where your devastation and disappointment or even hitting rock bottom could have happened in life. And I say that because literally, you guys have the Ten of Swords that's at the bottom of the deck, which is very much so rock bottomy. But the benefit to the Ten of Swords is that it's necessary for you to get to mastery. And so you do master it because you have this Ace of Swords right here that talks about cutting through confusion. It does talk about discernment, intuition, and clarity, as well as truth. And this sword told me a lot about why this night is coming and how long it took it to come. Like how long this wish fulfillment has taken, how long this person has deliberated about hidden emotions, hidden feelings. Like someone has something hidden that they may want to express or communicate, or those feelings kind of beat whatever war they had within themselves so that the truth, authenticity, their discernment, what they feel like deep down in their heart is going to like trump any negativity, confusion, or separation. So I thought that that was cool. Actually, your guys' first card out was a beautiful transformation is coming. So, I just get all giddy, right? So hold on. And we are live, so I can see your comments. If you're here, because I do see a couple people have pulled up already, say hi in the chat. Don't be a ghost. Don't be scared. Make sure you like the live. I promise you it's worth it. But I guess, say if we sit here and we say the same, then we'll hit the like button, and I totally respect that. So here we go. Okay, I have all of. God doggone it. Mother sauce. See, that's why I try to be patient with myself. Hold on, y'all. William. Oh, love you. Thank you so much. Yep. Your natal chart is coming up, baby. It's going to be so good. Okay, hold on. I wonder if you guys can hear this TV. Hold on, you guys. I appreciate your patience. And my super chat. Hey, and my super chat. Okay, wait. I'm going to go turn the TV down so I don't get like a copyright thing. So hold it down for me. Hold on. That's cool. We've been haunted. All right. Ooh, I am clumsy today, man. I almost knocked two things over. All right. Let's get up in this thing. Okay. So the first card that came out, was actually the Knight of Cups. And so as you can see, he has feelings and devotion. So I thought about someone who had been like this Taurus energy. I don't know about you guys, but I have felt where it's very grounding. It's very maturing. It's slow and steady. Like you have to be really intentional depending on what your sign is. Because I have a lot of Pisces and Aquarius and Sagittarius, honey. So in Taurus energy, it's very important to like take things slow a little bit, breathe a little bit. It also talks about commitment and dedication because some days could have been very hard, right? Energetically. I know they said that for Aquarius in the horoscope, there would be like a lot of scattered energy, scattered thoughts. And I thought I was a big girl. I was like, not me. I'm good. I'm organizing and moving through it. But I feel like some of the other placements that I have, I felt, I ain't gonna say a drag per se, but I just don't want to do nothing. I ain't gonna hold you. And then there was just like energy that I didn't even know why was there. So I will say I understand this perseverance a little bit more, where slow and steady and intentional is like for people that are working on self-growth, self-preservation. You're trying to do something, get somewhere. You're hearing about all of these like amazing portals and horrible cycles ending and just wanting to utilize the energy properly. Or you're just a human trying to make it, man, but do so with some sort of value, with the things that you like, finding love, understanding who you are, because that has a lot to do with sacred gifts, transformation, and like cutting through confusion of what really matters to us. So I'm glad to be able to like articulate this message because I can resonate some. Now, where it got funny was because I don't, when it comes to like love readings and twin flames, I'm not going to say that a lot of us jumped off the boat, but we talked about love readings and twin flames on Pisces TV for 4 or 5 years straight, right? And a lot of you had success. Some of you did not. And then others, there was no closure, no explanation, no communication, or somebody did stand their ground and, go their own way. But I still feel like there was some confusion and possibly not as much closure that would have been appreciated. So I chuckled because I felt that was the strongest first feeling, because I intuitively felt some of our collective would be here, and I understand where you guys are. I can't project, you know what I'm saying, that into the message, and I have to be clear with what was on my mind and heart when I channeled the message. So it's a lot. It's a lot because it came to me intuitively. So me trying to get all of that out in like a few sentences, I'm excited about it. It's like, bear with me, okay? But this was a giveaway to following one's heart, something that really mattered, and moving forward after doing all of this responsible stuff, like slower stuff, perseverance. I'm going to take my time, like slow and steady, but not giving up. Because sometimes the shadowy energy, because he is in a challenging position if I look at it a certain way, because I'm talking to everybody. So just hold on to something gives you goosebumps, right? He can quit in shadow energy because he wants to do it and it's important to him, but he doesn't have like a lot of the things that could persevere through ups, downs, mountains, full moons, fights, challenges, your, markup. I'll just say that because sometimes sacred gifts could get the best of us when not grounded or understood. So you dealing with all of these things and going through a transformation. It's easy to have a complicated approach to a goal, to a relationship. I went through that. It's like being single is not just about not being chosen or something like that. For some, it's just what's best because I don't have it in me for you, baby. Like, I don't have no extra energy. And even some people in relationships, they're aware and sometimes not aware that the grievances they have with each other, the lack of energy, the arguments, the confrontation, the trauma bonding is from personal things, whether it's personal within you or personal within the other person. So long story short, sometimes doing what's in our heart gets distracted by confusion, life, slowdowns, and hurdles. And so I love that this particular night gives like a process to where what was necessary, what made it important, and also what could have been challenging, and then like where we're getting to. So it's kind of like the night of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and then like the Knight of Swords. But this is no knight, it's just the sword itself because we already have the knights here, okay? It was just really beautiful. And I didn't want to stick it to romance, but I saw some undercards where it says hidden from you. See what I mean? Someone hiding a feeling, someone hiding something they truly wanted to say, you guys now being at a distance from each other, or there's a sacred cycle that could have taken place where this person is taking flight, and this taking flight is probably connected to the transformation coming. Beautiful transformation coming, by the way. Spirit, I was not going to leave you out. Okay. I did also intuitively 2 seconds ago, I swear, I thought about the third night being missing because it's like spirit, source, the unseen is also part of it. So helping someone get clarity, helping someone communicate, and also helping someone stand firm on something that a lot of distractions or personal whatevers pull them away from. So I think that that's super cool. Some things hidden from us can sometimes be energetic pulls. Those of you that are empaths and have sacred gifts and abilities, you could be going through transformations, upgrades. Those are all terminologies used in like quantum and metaphysical conversations, but we don't understand always what's exactly going on. So for some of you, you are being protected by, the unseen, right? So it did cross my mind. That's why this sword didn't have a horse, because it's not really physical. For some, it's internal clarity. Like, it may not be a conversation or communication. For one person that could be involved in a situation that is changing, that may have been a separation, a breakup, an argument, ghosting. I feel that in the present moment, this person has clarity that came from within, even if it's something they're going to communicate outside of them, like to you. Okay. So that was the beautiful story of just the cards. And when I tell you, these were not shuffled out, I was shuffling the cards, getting ready for the reading, and they cut themselves. And so I like when that happens because it's very specific. It's like, you're not going to perfect this. You're not going to be a perfectionist. Spirit is in control. And my message is here, right? Even though you want to shuffle it out and put them all in a line and be all cute, here is the conversation. And actually, the strongest part of the conversation are these three cards. So you have a beautiful transformation is coming. You have an invitation. I left that out. So there is communication or an invitation, and I think that is leisurely or some sort of pleasure. It may also be celebratory because this is like Six of Wands energy for me. So it's like an award, some sort of appreciation. Some of you, I mean, there is a pentacle here. So not all of us are just graduating spiritually. Some people may actually be attending certain events or something like that. And this clarity, this conversation, this communication could come in one of those spaces. Okay, so keep that in mind. You know how people are. Some people could be watching their kids walk across the stage, and you're like, man, it's just time. It's time for something. Or how far we've come, and how it wasn't easy, for some of us. Now, I haven't even gotten to the bread and butter. So if y'all bored or anybody going to sleep, that's on y'all. We also had the astro cards. The astro cards tell a even more beautiful story, which gave me a timeline, and the timeline matched spring headed to summer, and it was so specific, so in my face, right, that I put it on the thumbnail. So spring into summer is, for a lot of us, not wasting time because we don't feel like it, not wasting time because of our feelings, not wasting time because we don't have a reason anymore. That could also be how a person feels that could be coming toward a person with communication. And those of you that have dealt with those situations and no longer want to sit in confusion, your transformation could be to cut through the clouds. You know what I mean? Cut through the confusion, cut through the mud. And I think that's super cool. But we'll start with the astro deck, and then I'm going to clean this up, and we're going to shuffle out some cards because I got time today. It's the weekend. So again, you guys, welcome in. If you are here, leave a comment in the chat. I am live, right? It's not like, oh, is she here or is she going to be talking to us in the chat? I'm here today. And I'm looking for a note that I had that was important. So y'all got to let me get it. Hold on. Okay. Okay, boom, I'm back. All right. Where are we? Your dice. Okay. So first, when I roll the dice, we have what I saw first. Okay. I saw, even though the sun is on top, okay, I got that, you guys. But I saw the moon here. And then my eyes went straight to seventh house. So I was like, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. The sun card. I think the moon was in the 10th house. Let's start over. it was sun in the 7th house. This talks about marriage and long-term relationships. So if you can see like the little sun on the top, I know I was like, well, the moon comes in next. Don't worry about it. You have the sun here on the top. And then you also had the number 7 here, even though the 7th month is coming up. I did think about July. And then you have Jupiter over here and the moon over here. So Jupiter in Cancer supporting favorable relationships, something that we've been talking about for months, is in the dice. That was crazy. But the 7th house specifically talks about commitment, long-term partnerships, contracts, collaborations, and public interactions. With the sun here, a major part of your identity develops through one-on-one relationships. You often feel most yourself. And I feel like anyone who hasn't communicated something or maybe hid some of their feelings could be also moving forward due to authenticity, this beautiful transformation that maybe spirit has been helping them with or helping you with. Feel free to interchange or pick up wherever it goes. Strong desire for partnership is coming up. So that's pretty cool, right? There's a confirmation song. Strong desire for partnership, drawn to confident, charismatic, or influential people. So just be mindful of that. There could be someone who is very attracted to a person, and there could be some feelings of like some differentiations in either social circles or appearances. So just be mindful of that. Now, you may naturally attract attention in social settings or become known through a spouse, a business partner, or the collaboration. So, influence is big where you get to like strut your stuff, your sacred gifts, or whatever it is that you're working on. It's excellent at understanding people. So, this person could be very communicative, partnership oriented, leadership, loyal, and committed when relationships are healthy. Thrive in law, consulting, counseling, PR, or client facing work. So for some of you guys, this person could be very career driven, and be in either of those, you know, professions. Now, the sun can sometimes become overly dependent on validation from their partner in this placement. So, if there were any challenges, needing constant companionship, because the Ten of Swords says that in the past, some of us may have had issues within relationships, within life, within this situation, or just asking Source for that wish fulfillment. It just didn't come as fast as it was wanted. But over prioritizing harmony at the expense of authenticity may have come up, and losing individuality in relationships. The key lesson could have been in balancing. How do I stay myself while deeply connected to others? And here we are, which is patience, not putting all the eggs in one basket. It also talks about usually doing poorly in isolation. Um, Isolating environments and tend to grow rapidly through romantic experiences. So if you have felt, the fire diminish, and if you hadn't been as, energetic as you'd like to have been, I feel that it's a good nudge. It's in good faith, from your higher realm, whatever you believe in, to give you something that may be a spark. Okay, so I thought that was kind of cool. Now, partnerships, businesses, business alliances, negotiation, public relations, and client-centered entrepreneurship. For some of you, it's like slow and steady wins the race. And I feel like there is going to be a breakthrough in something that hadn't made sense yet. All right. Now, another thing that I saw was the moon in the 10th house on your dice. And that placement does talk about career, reputation, public image, and achievement. So, like I said, I didn't initially feel love for everybody, but there was a very cute story in love, about cutting through confusion, and for some finally moving on. But this person is not moving, going back, it's moving forward. And the moving forward is the communication, or moving forward and being stopped, by someone who says, you do this a lot. Because confusion could be like 7 cups. Somebody's not dealing with something that has happened multiple times. So I can see that working in a relationship or a situation where it's repeated through cycles. And that's like twin flame. It's like soulmate. It's like karmic. And here this person could come again, and it's like, right? For some, or them not being the confusion that they've been and actually offering something, but you'll know which is for you by what the person is offering and what their actions are. Like, are they coming in fast and trying to be charming, seeming like opportunists, or is it a slow paced friendship, something very heartfelt and sentimental that matters? So you're going to know. Now, where it's not love for some of you and it's career, reputation, public image. I feel that the moon represents the needs, the instincts, the inner self, and like the nurturing energy. And the 10th house represents that authority, achievement, reputation. So that's a cute, combination when it comes to relationship. You do have someone who is more emotional, that could need things and take it personally either way, when those things are or are not reciprocated. And then you have someone else who's very authoritative, that's a public figure, a socialite, or something that may have not put a lot into those feelings and instincts. You see what I mean? So it's an area, because this is a planetary reading. Okay, this is like horoscope for the planet, and it's going to affect you all differently based on your own past choices, your own energies, and what's in your chart. Okay, so you can get a personalized horoscope, and what I do is take your natal information with today's transits and give you something personalized to you. But for a collective, these are the things that are probable to happen, but how they play out just depends on you. Okay, and it depends on them. So, and I'm talking so slow and trying to be thorough with my thoughts that I can reach as many people as I can so that it resonates. I don't want you to sit here and then you feel like an outsider because, I don't get that or whatever. So, and then there are channel messages. So honestly, I'm just saying what I feel and what I see, and I trust spirit will bring the people who the messages are for here, and you're here, so it's definitely for you. Okay. Now, caring deeply about how they're perceived, that goes both ways. So you may notice situations presenting themselves where some people were just not, like I said, in the same image of each other. And that was problematic. But it's like, are you going to cut through that confusion? Are you going to like not have a twin flame, a soulmate, or someone who was meant to share this experience with you because of the experience itself? Like, oh, how we turned out so differently, that could be an issue, or how we view love, how we view career, money. You may see some of those things coming up. Um, Having fluctuating careers for some could have been that 10 of swords energy. And I feel that doing something you love, even if you don't get where you want to be financially as fast, is what's important. And spirit says to do that, you have to cut through bullshit offers. Some of you are going to be making a selection soon. Some of you, it's this pentacle. And you got to, I think spirit said long and hard, and I don't want to say that because, pause. No, because it was just like, I don't want to scare you and I don't want to put too much pressure on it, but it could be a physical thing, especially if you're relocating, if this is about money, a job, or like big ticket items. For some of you guys, it's kind of like slow and steady wins the race on that. But you also can be fickle with your feelings going back and forward. Okay? However that works. If there has been fluctuation in any of those departments, home life, finances, career, I feel that you guys are going to come into some different energy where you're not feeling so topsy-turvy in those areas. And that's the gift or the transformation that you'll have. And like slaying the demons, the dragons or the devil, that's what they say, like Archangel Michael. And also just, you know, theologically, it's always been that sword not only cuts through confusion, but in spiritual wars has always been used to, win or whatever. So if the star cards pop up, and I think it already did because sacred gift, receiving something special, is a message of the star card, even though this is an oracle card. So you kind of do have the star card. And I feel that becoming widely known or visible is like moon in, what did I say, 10th house. And some of you may experience that. There's a strong intuition about people, trends, or social dynamics that may benefit you. Is where you're going to get this opportunity at. And you caring so much about how you're perceived, or someone caring about how they're perceived, is like the perfect what did you call that phrase or catch line for a person with certain careers? It's like you naturally are a perfectionist. You naturally care about how people see you, and even though a lot of us say I don't care what nobody think, um okay, then maybe I'm not talking about you, but I've heard people say that, and they definitely do care. Because you're not gonna walk out the house a certain way, you're not gonna do something halfway, and how people see you does matter, even if you feel different and above sometimes. Because we have conversations about how people feel about different generations and the state of the union today. So even if you feel that you are superior, authoritative, different from the masses, you want them to know that. You make sure that something differentiates you from them. You know what I mean? And Spirit is saying like those attributes could be challenged at the time or may have been in the past, but are the perfect gifts, are the perfect parts of your personality that could benefit you within this partnership, which could be a person socially or business wise. Now, the public image thing, um, how others see you is sometimes not how you see you, because they'll see you as caring, approachable, protective, emotionally expressive, and relatable. That's a good thing. Some of you guys are going to go far in the very near future and have like grand strides socially because of that. And some others, I just feel it as a complication that happened in a partnership or a relationship. I don't see anything negative, and I don't like to be like a gossipy, negative type reader. But if there are relationship demographics where friends or lovers are not fully supportive of the gain that you're about to receive, there could be complications in that area because you're getting too much attention. You know what I mean? And you're supposed to be the relatable, caring, not authoritative, wealthy. You know what I mean? So some people, when that relationship demographic switches, Spirit says be mindful of that. And now I'm about to be messy and say that's very good advice while telling us somebody coming back to communicate their true feelings. So I want you to keep your eyes open, collective, once these benefits, gifts, contracts, um once those things come in, pay attention to timing. Oh, and then at the last minute, I kid you not, at the last minute, I grabbed my little homemade timing cards. So I will shuffle them out. That is so crazy. Okay, some of you, it could be days. Others of you, I did get end of spring into summer strongly for the collective. Um, and then there was hours, and I was like, Spirit, you're trolling. When I made the cards, because I just made them today. But that's going to be an interesting concept. Those may also be things that play out because this is a collective message. It's also a thing that could be played out through people that have public facing careers, and that includes YouTubers, celebrities, politicians, hospitality workers, counselors, education, healthcare, creative industries, social influences and influencers, as well as community leadership. So just be mindful that some things are going to come through, and somebody that you really like or someone who really likes you, who look at that. How do you do it? Okay, like that. You guys may be working together, and I think that that's super dope. Now, I need to feel emotionally fulfilled when I do something. That could be what led to the topsy-turvy in relationships and past partnerships and work, because it just didn't fit you, and it was like a battle because you didn't really feel it in the heart, and you tried to do it, but sometimes it just felt like a double-edged sword, or, just beating a dead horse. Now, for those of you that may receive some sort of communication or an invitation, you may be nourished, okay, because this sword is still here, and I'm not a coddly, fluffy, makey uppy, clickbaity type of person. So this sword is still here and is at the end. Usually my end is for the possible outcomes, or like if Spirit got some advice. Spirit got having this sword up in front of Kojak like this. All of this can be fine and well, and exactly how the storyline goes and exactly how they feel. However, if you have been focused on a project, a career, yourself, or finances, and this, I almost said thing, this thing or person resurfaces in this divine timing, I just want you to be aware of that. I cannot tell you what to do because I've seen this work both ways and I don't have an opinion about it. This is just my observation. But I have seen karmics and twin flames finally get their person or both people ready to commit at the same time. Does that change the pattern and the demographic of their relationship? I'm going to say no. But those that have not encountered a committed relationship verbally, right? Because we be loving them all day long and they don't even know what's going on. Half of them don't even know what a twin flame is. But I have seen the desire and the emptiness from a person who wants to experience that, because you can't develop that type of time with a new person. You know what I mean? Twin flames and soulmates and karmics, they have history. You could have met them early on in life, and then meeting new people or dating online, I'll let y'all tell it. It's just not like that tender love, right? However, in my observation, no personal opinions here, you guys. The demographic, the who they are, it don't. I've never really seen it change, and I ain't gonna pick on any celebrities because I try to stick to us relatable civilians, right? But there are a few celebrities, one in particular that's crossing my mind, and I couldn't believe. Maybe because she's with a Libra and like my twin flame was Libra, but I was like, I couldn't believe, and she's Pisces and I'm Pisces. But I was like, girl, no, you didn't. But I have nothing to say because I feel like that was a mistake she made. But she still got the money, because we talked about that. We was like, love or money? Are you going to take this twin flame soulmate situation and miss out on opportunities? Or are you going to go for the opportunities? I couldn't talk shit about them because she got the guy and she got the money. So I was like, damn, that's nice. But then I'm an empath. I could feel sis, when I see her, when I look at her, when she talk, it's a very much so the best days of her lives are behind her type deal. And I'm just like, I knew it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying twin flames and karmics and soulmates don't belong, but when the majority of your history is torture and pain, or dragging or ghosting or confusion or one-sided love and all that, those people have to be rinsed in the sacred waters of a divine being with divine intervention, and like 3 blue moons, the hunter's moon, a pink moon, a red moon, and a fucking eclipse for that energy and who they were in that storyline to change. Some of you have more favorable experiences or less complicated experiences, and I think those are twin flames and soulmates. But sometimes we confuse the karmic, who has mostly been doom and gloom since day one, but keep coming back every few years or keep coming back every few months, and we feel like history and longevity, and then they grow this little bit or they change this little bit or they say this one thing this one time. I think those are karmic relationships. And when we confuse them for soulmates and twin flames, and if they do this comeback thing, this thing you've always wanted, this beautiful change, this is it, is what we've been waiting on. If they're truly karmic, they are not going to change. And you are going to be sitting in a limo arguing with them and on national TV at a public place about their inappropriate behavior with women at the event while you next to them. Okay, that's just me. That's just saying. Okay, that's why the sword could be here, but I don't want to be in my Queen of Swords energy. I don't want to be the sage, child. I did feel a very loving energy about some hidden emotions being communicated from this fella. And this time, see, I'm not gonna project, bro. I'm not going to project. These two cards symbolize someone who has finally made their mind up and has taken them some time to do that. But you won't have to have confusion about if I know what I'm talking about or what are you supposed to do in this situation, because you're going to see it. This person has the patience and has the devotion and has the commitment because of their focus. This person is focused and not entertaining others because they have been walking with spirit. They have been trying to stay away from troubled water. I feel like some of you have been at a distance and someone could be coming your way if you guys have been at a distance. And when I say coming your way, through communication or physically, because I know this is like travel. And we did have, where did it go? We did have this travel card. And see, when I talked about an eclipse or spirit, it's probably like trying to be funny. Like, well, it's an eclipse coming in, little mama. Because I was like, it got to be a blue moon, 2 purple ones, the hunter's moon, and an eclipse moon, right? So it's been a long time. It's been a long time. It has been a long time. The spirit of the earth is in control and is messaging us to just have the dedication to not quit and give up. You could receive something special. And I feel like you deserve it. All right. And it's going to change things for you. Aw. Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. That was the Queen of Swords. Damn, you tricked me. So I was right. The Queen of Swords moved away through the water. Okay. Because see. I knew that was going to be for someone. That's not for everyone. The Six of Swords usually has a lady in it riding a boat, right? In the water. She's moving away from troubled waters. Some people even could call that escapism and a shadow energy, but it's not. Escapism is like the person that doesn't communicate, someone who receives more than they give, and may have a personal perspective that is leading them to take their time with commitment. And I mean a long time. So and if you're not committing but still dating or still having intimate relationships, then that could be a lot of complication and confusion, Casanova. Right? But I don't want to be negative. But that was actually the Queen of Swords here because the King of Swords is here. So I appreciate Spirit letting me see that. Now the King of Swords has put his sword down, but I feel like the Queen of Swords has hers raised. So this is her. Okay. With him coming to her, when he was worse than she was. So however she's grown to be or matured, whatever she does in this situation, whatever response she gives, he did worse. I guarantee you he did worse. See? Oh my gosh. And these are just the only cards I have. These are the only ones I have in my hand. So I'm not doing like a magic trick or no shit. That's crazy. 2 7s and the 5 of Cups. It was just like something that could have gone either way, but someone either saw it as negativity or there was an opportunity missed or just the blues, child. There was not a lot of happiness, but Spirit is like, I'm protecting you. And it could go either way, and either way I'm protecting you. So that's what's dope. Now, what's hidden, I feel like, is okay. Intuitively, I got who they used to be. Okay. That makes sense. So if you have someone willing to be committed to the same person or this new person, the new person is not going to know this other person's past. This person could have had a complicated past that I just explained. But this Queen of Swords kind of matches this King of Swords energy, and he was worse. So that, like I said, however she is, he was. And that's silly. Maybe that's why y'all got that confusion. Anyway, but the 7 of Cups are here also when we manifest things that don't necessarily come through. Because I'm not a huge relationship-y person, but I got a huge like visual of this engagement or this conversation, this communication activity, and look at them, right? Also, because this is a growth and soul purpose driven collective. It does include relationships, finance. It includes life. Like I went above conversations and, you know, entertainment to ask spirit for more information, more knowledge, and how we can practically apply it in life. Because your whole life don't got nothing to do with Kojak, just this one relationship. Your entire life has nothing to do with somebody who pissed you off yesterday, or your entire life, or what you need to hear, honestly, also does not have anything to do with when is my financial situation going to change and is he coming back? Because who you are and what energy you carry every day is attracting everything you experience in collaboration with the transits. So we came from one sign and only doing tarot to me asking spirit for a broader collective and more wisdom that would not only help me, but other human beings on the planet change their entire experience. Not just, yeah, I can make you a love candle. Yeah, I can make you some money oil. Change your entire experience. And then once you learn or see the truth in this works, you duplicate that and you repeat that, because we're all looping in a pattern, right? Remember the conundrum, the time continuum. But once you master this one thing, right? You just duplicate that formula and you can have what you want in many aspects of life, and notice how they just naturally come. So it's not anxiety, it's not depression, it's not a feeling of a void. It's not confusion. It's not angst. It's not desire. You don't even want it bad. You just know you the type of person that should have it and already feel cool like that. Whatever. It's a long story. So anyway, others of you that don't have, because they beefing with each other on my table. I'm gonna shovel these cards up because they haven't talked, and so it's like maybe this way they want to talk here, but these people see, look, it's a lot of sevens, bro. Oh, it's just so cool. I feel like these sevens are gonna come together. Look, so on this end, that's crazy. When I was talking about one person possibly being secretive or causing some sort of confusion, or just manifesting the same thing over and over and over again, but it feels like it's not coming, it never came. So it leads to sadness, depression, and prolonging. But here's the other seven to get the jackpot over here, and this last seven is with the shebang bang. I kid you not, it was just sitting over there. So watch this. So that's the seven of swords with the 10 of pentacles. Over here you had the 7 of cups, the 7 of pentacles, and the 5 of cups, because I won't add all this. We already talked about these things, and maybe these two will stop beefing with each other. But there was just some feelings that weren't favorable, and I felt like doing a lot of reflection when things don't come as fast as you'd like. When things don't come as fast as you like, it causes some sort of confusion, and all of your manifestations are just sitting in the void somewhere waiting on you to receive them. But you think they're at a distance from you. But I noticed that this white serpent is shedding skin. And usually when I see, and that sounds so crazy because I'm African, but usually usually when I see like the white stags, owls, they represent spirituality, divinity, and like God's promise, kind of like seeing the rainbow, where forgiveness, transformation, or I got you. It's like, I promise I got you. Have faith, right? Through it all of these snakes, everybody wants something, everybody doing the same thing, but then you see something different. Somebody sees something different, or you'll see something different, and it's like just being out and not getting what they want. The people in the relationship, they want to work things out with people they hate or had challenges with, playing the field, tired of it. It didn't work out for them. And all of these hidden emotions and secrecy. I think within the house, you could even have partners that you're in separation with, or twin flames that have had relationships where even kids could be involved, marriages, or they live together. But somebody is like seeing things differently or wanting to be seen differently. in a situation, and I feel like that's not funny, but after some time there have been some changes. I'll say that, because going through the 10 of swords, many people experience many changes, and it's emotionally, psychologically, physically, financially, and it's like I don't even want to go deep into that. I just don't feel like it was good. But three sevens usually points to some sort of jackpot, and I could say that just for it to sound good, but the 10 of Pentacles came out with it. So for some of you, it's building a legacy that brings this relationship together. For some people, it's a good financial decision. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe that's how I ain't gonna even say it, but some people do feel like, I ain't gonna say they're an opportunist, but if this is the last person they are with, and they have kids together, and they promise to not forsake them, then I'm like, it's a win-win situation. This person gets their person. It's just, it makes me uncomfortable that a lump sum of your decision making is financial, but I can't judge. I'm just here to observe. Okay. Now, if something wasn't told, which caused some sort of confusion, somebody been thinking about it long and hard and has figured it out. Maybe they don't know where these feelings are coming from. Maybe they sneaking around watching you, but they don't trust you because of whatever you said to them. Okay. Because I feel that for some, it isn't just this really sweet, like Dawson Creek kind of story that I'm telling, but for someone, or for some of you, it most absolutely is. And then I'm kind of like putting my neck on the line to go out of the status quo, to be real about it. But I don't want it to just be like cupcake for real, because we don't do that. So the next thing that came up was, if there is a family relationship with the 10 of swords, the moon can also talk about relationships with a mother. So if you've had any situations, or if you're strongly influenced by, or your ambition and reputation is connected to something related to a mother figure, it does talk about public family expectation, desires to make your family proud, and sometimes emotional pressure around achievement. Okay. I have felt like that before. It's like, I don't care how much fun you have, how nonchalant you are and acceptant you are, because I know a lot of very humble people who just accept circumstances. They ain't that big of a deal. But sometimes having children or being responsible for others adds a little bit of spark to your flame, because why, you don't want to embarrass them. You don't want your issues to now become somebody else's problem. So, I mean, you may not feel like that as a parent, but as a human being, me personally, that's just maybe my personality or something in my chart. I can treat me however I feel like, because I can do that. Right, wrong, true, or false, whatever that means. But negatively affecting somebody else against their free will, like they don't have no choice, like a kid that's stuck with you type deal, that's a different ball game, buddy. And I guess I just don't like to inflict someone's free will, like, or their chance in life. I don't want to inflict it negatively, because what if that happened to you, or what if you're where you are because of that? We not gonna do it again. Right? So that could, things like that, things about legacy could come up, and cutting through confusion in that aspect. Now, if you have gifts and abilities, and you've been going through a lot of changes, kind of questioning what those things may be, I do feel like it is divine timing and you're not tripping. So reaching out to talk to someone, or going into deep meditation and journaling, because I don't always try to sell myself or other practitioners. You can also meditate, journal, write down your dreams, or just sit with yourself, go within type deal. But you're right, this is a divine time, and things are happening to you where you may feel certain things in your heart, or your gifts improving, and you want to dive into that. It is definitely the perfect time for that. Now, this is where I totally resonate with the message, but the challenging aspect, since we're on the moon, could also be mood swings and it affecting career decisions. I did experience that. It wasn't crazy. Um, but yeah, because it was like, damn, do I really need to get up? How much do I want to put in work, really, for real? Right? So that's one thing that could be a potential challenge with the moon. Overworking for emotional security is putting too much on getting some sort of confidence or um what do they call it, when reassurance from the public or your partner. um the confusion could be blurring personal feelings with a professional life. So, like me, try not to do that. For some of you, if you're starting channels, if you're starting blogs, if you are going into a profession that requires non-biased discernment, like any profession, hell, an educator, a health essentials, you can't be. That's what I mean. I'm not gonna say you can't. I don't think it's best when public figures. I won't call out no names because I was gonna say police, but and still did it. And so I think public figures and essential workers. You would think in the perfect world, I do get that. You cannot be biased, and your personality and your personal opinion of who you are is you left that at home when you're an authority figure, and especially when you take oaths. But you wear a badge, you know what I'm saying, and you signed a company guideline when you got hired. You are in a position um of rank, you know, highly appreciated. And that just shouldn't work out like that. So there could be public exposures, because that does happen sometimes, unfortunately, with like dance instructors or nurses and doctors and da 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 da. But on a grand scale, there could be some exposure to a public figure or an essential worker or something like that who may have some challenges with that boundary. Your personal opinion and professional life. Okay, that's all I'll say. Now, the good news is emotional intelligence and leadership should be heightened during this time, regardless of what the moon is doing. We're not all walking around in shadow. So, that strengthens your ability to connect with people and to have a stronger intuition when it comes to career matters, as well as having a public appeal. So, it's kind of like divine timing says that things are just going to be more pleasant without you making them that way. So no force. Okay. Now the a really interesting thing was the cusp. I think so. I think you are. The really interesting thing was the cusp. And it was I think he's between Taurus and it's a cusp between Taurus. I want to say, hold on, let me think. That could have been timing. Yeah, Taurus and Gemini are cool because it's ninth house, but it's caniculus. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the cusp, or it's probably a constellation or something like that. Um, but it stabilizes things. It could cause someone who was less practical to be more practical. And it does talk about higher education, philosophy, and spiritual beliefs, as well as long distance travel, publishing, and teaching, and expansion of the mind. This may change people who try to dim their emotions or spiritual thoughts and spiritual connections that would include twin flames and soulmates and all that jazz. Somebody who just like put that part of them on pause may be in this energy more susceptible to find truths of authenticity that could bring, some unions. So I thought that was cool. People personally, without any relationship being involved, could also be coming into these aspirations. And I think that that's dope. But it does talk about real life experiences and intellectual exploration. So for some of you who are creators and who are writers and are looking to expand, This is the perfect opportunity because you've experienced so much in these 10 of swords that you have everything that you need. Okay. Um, Something that was important, becoming mentally scattered, switching beliefs frequently, overthinking spiritual matters, and wanting certainty while craving like novelty. Just be mindful of that. This transit promotes spiritual expression that is practical and wisdom that can actually improve daily life. Okay. And so that's what I asked Spirit too. It was just like we definitely have a lot of intention toward improving daily life and like soul growth. Anything beyond that, I don't know. But I thought that that was kind of cool that you got this cusp thing. Now, with the Knight of Cups like in the center position, and I was like wanting to give up sometimes, that's a person who beliefs change a bit, who philosophizes, and I don't know if that's a word, but their philosophies change a bit. It also talks about never fully committing to one philosophy, um, intellectualizing spirituality, and escaping through theories of endless searching. I have done that, so just be careful. But I'm honest with myself because I think my awareness is hilarious. I'm My heightened sensitivity and intelligence is one thing. That's what's so adorable. Who I am as just a person is a whole nother. So sometimes spirit gives me every answer I need or shows me everything that I need to say, but I am still myself. So that's why I always said when it came to belief systems, not to like throw you guys' reading off. Um, but that's what I thought about religion. I said everybody has a point, except for atheists who say that there's nothing, because I'm absolutely sure that there's something, because the higher aspect of myself is completely different from me, so different from me I know that it's not me. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to throw it out there. When we got to the part where it said escaping through theories or endless searching, bro, I have done that because I feel like it kept me sane, but it was also the way that I procrastinated. Or if I wanted to do something, but maybe you get cold feet or you're nervous, and then you try to do everything you can, but actually do what you're trying to do. So I'm not accusing you of that. It is just a shadow energy of some information that came up in the dice. And I think it's funny because I'm just like the princess of it. I won't say the queen, but I am I'm can definitely relate with that. And honey, you got to pull yourself out of that and be real with yourself because that's where authenticity comes in. And I know I'll be doing it, even if I keep doing it though. That's what's funny. That's why I said I can tell that there's a difference between me and like spirit, because spirit is very tolerant of me. Tolerant of all of us, spirit said, because I was like, I'd like to make this about me. So excuse you. I don't like sharing God a lot. But anyways, very tolerant of me, uh but because I know I'd be doing it, but that doesn't put like fire up under my ass. I'm just like, okay, I'm doing it, but I'm doing it and it's keeping me from like, I always say egregious things like, oh, jumping off a cliff, but I don't want to trigger nobody. So it's like it's keeping me kosher. Kosher is better than not so kosher. But if you're not so kosher and you're purposefully procrastinating by digging into, I need more, or I need to do more research, or I need to buy more things, or I need to, perfect this. Just as a coach, see, that's why it's kind of like I can't speak because I don't want to sound like too, you know, Hierophanty and this Taurus energy. But it's like, because I know better, I can sense when it's being done, regardless of what my actions are next. That's what I love about this experience and being human. I ain't gonna say I know everything, but spirit will tell you or show you every single thing as you strengthen your connections with spirit. You get information immediately. That don't always change who you are though. So it's like you're procrastinating. That's an insecurity. That's a da da da. We have these conversations and it don't change overnight. So Be easy on yourselves, but also do not be S yourselves, because there's a lot of gifts, there's a lot of opportunity, there's a lot of distractions, and there's a lot of tests. Like everything's not even the devil. Everything is not like something dark. How they say, oh, you got dark energy around you. You got to do all these rituals or whatnot to get them off you. Sometimes they are just tests because you prayed about something or you're manifesting something. And the type of person that has that thing you're trying to manifest don't have certain energies that you have, which is why you don't have it right now. And they do. So when you, and I ain't said it as a shot, because Spirit was like, damn, you know what I mean? So you have to be modified. That's alchemy. That's temperance. And in that modification comes authenticity and truth. So when you notice something or spirit puts something on your mind, or a stranger or someone you know, even if you don't like them, give you some news you can use, I want to promise you that could be God. And I'm talking about, it could be the worst person that ain't done shit with their life. God speak through everybody and anybody. And I done seen it happen. So we can't belittle one's opinions or their advice. We can't put everybody off and judge them by, how you gonna tell me type deal. But the information will come to you if you truly want it. And God is taking you seriously and saying, okay, you want these things. So now become the person that has those things, because that's the only way it works. Like if you don't do it that way, you could have all of those things and still not be successful, still not be happy. And in the end, it doesn't work out. It's like you can just, it's like the 7 of Cups. You can manifest them in and they'll be gone as soon as they get there. That's how somebody could win $7 million on the lottery and be doing Ubers a couple of years later. It happens all the time. And I'm not joking or trying to be extreme. Something big is happening for you. And I want you to be able to have it long term, because this story started with long term. And if we want too much, we spend it too fast. We get easily distracted. Our feelings get hurt easily. How people see us and our beliefs change every other day. So that's complicated. It sounds like someone who isn't sure of who they are. And then it's also triggered by people having them messed up, for a lack of a better phrase. I can see that happening. Like you're not clear with who you are. Not you, okay, but it's the energy of sometimes people aren't 100% certain, especially like all of us, eccentric, spiritual. I'm not going to blame it on one zodiac sign over the other, but we are a lot and we do have multiple compartments. But overall, when you get serious, when you matured, you get into marriages, you get into businesses or leadership position at your job, unfortunately, it does require some sort of consistency. And I think the people who could be excused in that area is just someone who's really, really, really good and comfortable with being everything and all over the place. Like you just so good at it. It is your niche. And that's your bread and butter. Like that's what you're known for. But seldomly do people admit that they're all over the place and a bunch of everything and ain't nothing in particular. So that's what I have there. Now, gaining wisdom through contradiction. That's what I mean. That's my point. Like if you are a contradiction, you have what you need to expand on that without it being complicated. Because part of the message is also to be clear. And it's like, be clear about what you want and how you feel and what's really, really, really important to you. Because in the back of your mind, here is the sacred gifts. This is what's in the back of your mind. And somebody thought like something was going to be beautiful, or they think that it is, but here's this sword. And I did see the 3 of Swords in the shuffle. So it's like the 4th sword brings in healing, or the 4th sword brings in victory. The 4th sword could also bring in rest and meditation. So because you guys have 3 deacons of each sign, I like to give 3s, right? If the 4th sword is bringing in healing, that means that 3 of Swords has happened. We have missed opportunities. We have had horrible relationships or our feelings hurt. It also talks about past life regression. So it doesn't have to be some negative, awful um, human experience. It also just represents a folklore that our gifts, our abilities, our past lives, it's in the heart. And then once that heart is cracked open, which isn't always a cherry tree, um, there is a beautiful transformation. And it does tell us a lot about who we are. But it's like, have you had that experience, or you moving into it? Because either way, this sword is going to add to another sword. Now, for those of you where it's the latter, I don't even talk like that. Cut it out. If this is victory, this is a beautiful transformation that you manifested, because it was way back here the other day when you said a beautiful transformation is coming, when you woke up every day and told yourself it's going to be a beautiful day, when you always wish for the best, or just had some positive affirmation. And those positive affirmations, because I stress it every day on this channel, the past is a word, the future is a word. It's not a tangible place that we can go to physically. So for all of y'all telepathies and remote observers and travel timer walkers, I ain't talking to y'all, but physically, does it exist in this realm, in this dimension? It does not. It's a word. The only time that ever exists in this dimension is right now. Like right now, I'm doing something. What I did 5 minutes ago, I can't go sit in there and talk to it. What I might do in 5 minutes, I can't go sit in there and talk to it. All I can do is sit and talk to you right now. I can just keep talking to you right now in this moment. That's it. So I was taught and shown through some sort of mystical experience, the power of now. Even though I have heard the power of now and read audio books and signed up for webinars since I was like 19, and I'll just say OG millennial at this point, and not far from 50. I just look good. Okay. But I've heard the power of now my entire life. But I saw it, I heard it, it clicked differently. And I just been, on the pedestal preaching to the choir since then about the severity of it. Cause it's like, I don't know, maybe they spoke in a way that would be picked up by their collective. But the way that Spirit showed it to me, that simplified it and it put urgency on it, unlike those self-help books. And it's so simple, it's so easy, it's a free thing. It's a sentence, it's a paragraph that you could say to somebody in passing, and it's the exact answer. Spirit gave me the exact. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It's like it's a whole $1 billion industry behind mindfulness, and well, we're not talking mindfulness, we're talking like manifestation. But it's also a $1 billion industry. We got miles and miles of books, buildings and billions of dollars of books, and all the gurus and they expertise and they millions of YouTube views and everything they got going on, which I love. Okay. And me next, by the way, you know what I mean? But it's like all that, and it's just so simple. There is no that's all you have to tell me. Like, even though I know that and it makes sense, be very, I think I had to become more practical, because the people say I was like a whimsical person. I'm a Pisces, Aries cusp, and Gemini North Node. So it's just a lot of thought, a lot of feelings, a lot of thought, But anyway, saying it to me like that, I was like, I get that. And then when I practiced it and immediately had consistent turnaround, I was like, oh my God. Right. But I was also warned, just like I didn't get it when the other people said it, everybody not going to get it just because I feel like my way make more sense when I say it. But I say it, and I say it every day, or at least every week. The past is a word. It is not a place. The future is a word, is not a place. Yet those are the places our minds are always at, and it negatively affects the chemicals in your body. The past can give someone depression. The future could give someone anxiety. The present moment, the problem is not happening. There's no urgency on it. but what we thought and what we think. And it was like, you need more of your brain right now. You need more air in your brain. So meditation and deep breathing isn't just some mindfulness, holistic stuff. A human being does not actually breathe usually the way we're supposed to have the adequate, oxygen and like brain electricity or whatever. I'm making up shit, but you get my point. So deep breathing, mindfulness, and meditation aren't just spiritual practices so we can talk to some source somewhere. That's what humans need for their brains to be operable at a higher percentage. So you're not just using 3% of this big ass motherfucking transmitter you got. So, I ain't trying to go on a tangent. And I think that's part of my transformation, child, because I love tarot. I told Spirit, I said, if these people knew that I spend like $10,000 over my whole YouTube career on just tarot cards alone, they would trip out. But to have I could have a museum of tarot cards. Because they're so beautiful. And it's like, I don't want to ever not do tarot. But Spirit has been on this public speaking, astrology, writing, journalism. And I just be like, I just want to play on my cards. And as a matter of fact, I just bought these and she's so cool, man. I wanted these so bad. I paid like an extra $92 for, and look at Spirit. It's like, yep. Oh, so there's a yes. Somebody's going to say yes to something. Oh my gosh. Ew. So, oh, look at that. And he's like, I'm going to give it to you. I know that. There go that 6 of Pentacles right then. It says funding, support system. We can go ahead and get into this reading. And generosity. I am very generous with the truth. Okay. But yeah, I be just, these cards are everything. Okay. And I love flipping them over and reading them for you guys. So we're going to move over to them. Here we are. To get some more news you can use. I'm in love with this too. I ain't never been no dice roller. That's crazy. All right, we got Leo. I don't know why that's funny. Leo in the 7th house, just imagine. That is very much so, that energy comes up when we need to be more confident and more action driven, but at the same time passionate. You have to really care about it, because Aries is an energy that is like, you need to be in motion. You need to move. That's like grind. But Leo energy has a little bit of that strength card in it for me, where it's the lady and the lion, and so it's not just a very it's not a very masculine, strong, like aggressive, get up there and do it. It's more so like, it got to be inside of you. And I think it's just my personal opinion, and I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about the energy of these zodiacs and planets that are in people, because our energies, I guess, come from the atmosphere. I don't know, child, because we got metals and gases and all that shit in our bodies that come from the atmosphere too. So I think Sagittarius and Aquarian energy, the pure energy, is more about the action and the fire. But for me, I don't know why, I feel like Leo is more of a heartfelt, passionate, even when they get mad, or even when if you can get one that does finally care. Anyway, so let's see. We're gonna do past, present, future, since I just talked about our time continuum and what Spirit want us to go from there, because this was just a fun Saturday live. And I do honestly feel that the timeline is heavy on moving into spring. I feel like that timeline is very important for the person or people who may be in communication with someone that is going to shock them, because y'all, this the last person, the sword been drawn, the boundaries. I ain't never doing this again. Me either, right? The King of Swords and the Queen of Swords came up. Some of you could be receiving this sword, as for dedication and promise from your higher self or the divine, due to completing what could have seemed to be a hard time, where the only thing you could do is probably surrender. So if you're sitting there like, I ain't just maximize some darkness and come out a badass, so she might not be talking about me, but you didn't lose yourself, baby. You still here right now, kicking, listening, learning. You know what I mean? So that 10 of Swords is just rock bottom. You could have not done a damn thing and just be on your ass right now in 82 days. And I'm talking about you. So anyways, oh look, again, we have our King of Swords, the master plan. And see, this master plan, this power of now, my time conundrum, that's a fact. This leader who dipped on his spiritual partner because they had different beliefs, you know what I mean? Returning because now they're wanting spiritual fulfillment or having some sort of divine intervention. Fact. We have ethics and logic. We also have strategy, which some, more eccentrics of us would be dealing with these situations and scenarios as public figures or in our careers. And order. Okay, so I like that. It's at the bottom of the deck. We're gonna leave him over here. I learned the King of Swords, to me personally, it's Gemini. I don't care what nobody say. But in Western tradition, sometimes for tarot and modern tradition, it's like Aquarius. So if you guys are interested in any signs, it doesn't have to be the sun sign of a person. To me, it's the psychology and mannerism, as well as possibly if this is a relationship, Venus or Moon. A lot of my collective does have Aquarius Moon. So I don't know. Let's see what we got. Now these stuck out to me. See that what I'm saying? I knew she did. Some of us are focusing on career, family. Taurus, there could be some sort of decision being made or a strategy in order for something coming up, that something is over and we're starting something else. So it's like, what is that something else going to be? And there needs to be some sort of strategy. For some of you, it does have to do with like family life. It could have to do with like, I want to say health-based businesses. We did talk about essential workers and the president and something happening. And I know that this is like big for a reading, but this is a collective reading on a Saturday. So just chill. But I do see that too. Something about the essential workers and maybe something closing, like, you know how when Spirit closed, everybody was like shocked. Oh my God. So something like that. But on a grander level, like when they remember when they cut off the Department of Education? That's not funny. It's just, I mean, I don't have no personal opinion. It definitely was interesting, right? To hear. If you're dealing with a Taurus, or an air sign, I'll say an earth sign or an air sign. We have air, earth, and water. There could also be a situation where we have Scorpio, which is water, and some dealings. But I do feel, see, he came in his true form. So he's still the same person. I told you that. Regardless, she became that person or becomes that person. And I think it took a lot of work and trying to stay grounded, because this is a very transformative energy. And I feel like if you don't stay grounded in a very transformative energy, we could all be acting like Scorpios in shadow. No shade. We could all be toxic Scorpios. So that tell you the kind of energy it is. It's like it's 7 of Cups, baby. It's 7 of Cups lived out with 10 swords. Yeah. So that's something. All right. What else we got? Ooh, this is fate, bro. This is fate. I think this tells me something about the completion of the cycle. Here goes our Knight of Cups again. And then, didn't I tell you about the King of Wands? Remember when I said Leo? And I said Leo has more passion. Leo in spirit, Leo, Scorpio. That's crazy. That's the cusp. Okay, so I did tell the story right. So you want to be just like specific. It's the return. And I think that's what that whole, let me see, I think this was what it was about. And look at that. Oh no. Let me see. Where is that card at? Do I have it? I ain't gonna hold y'all up. We had one card where see here is the communication, pleasant message or good news. That's not what I was looking for. I'm just shuffling the cards to see if it'll come back. If it doesn't, it is. Okay, so this traveling at a distance, I took that as actual traveling. I did say some sort of cycle or transit, and then we also talked about being at a distance. So that's crazy. The fact that this is sometimes seen as distance, that, and sometimes the world card, spirit said no, you had it right. Be very specific. Okay, here's that leadership or authoritative sort of figure that there was some sort of disconnect in. And I feel that the 5 of Cups, the missed opportunity, all the negativity, regret, shame, the timing of it all, and figuring out, look at what it says. What have I done? And then this person says, shit, with they sword up, look at that. Intellectual power. It's like before I was devoted to something. I didn't understand something. I was young. I was inspired to create. But now it's like I have mastered the strategy, the steps to take, who I am, and I'm standing on it. And I think that that's super dope. But it's like at the same time, it's also about being practical and very grounded. And whatever this does, it changes this person and transform them where I feel like they become the authoritative figure. And this person has this shadowy karmic energy. So if I do have 2 people, because I like to, this isn't a love reading. So I'm not going to sit in here and just like keep going on some love story that could go either way. I'm talking about real life in general with these planetary energies. And then I'm talking about a channeled message about karmics and how it does end once and for all, or change once and for all, or somebody's let go of. It's a lot. When I said change, I do mean a transformation. There's not an ending. It's not over. Because here is death, and it's over, final. But then the Wheel of Fortune happens, and it's like opportunity, destiny. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you lost in the past, and then it's like the end where we could have missed an opportunity. That's why I get on my nerves. Like for me to get, sometimes when you just know tarot and you're flipping over cards, it's cool. You're flipping over cards, you're doing your job. But when you get channeled messages and you absolutely sure, sometimes it sucks. It's like when you watch the movie and you know how sometimes you be talking through the movie, and if you were at a movie theater, people would be like, shut up, because you get like really excited and it's like a lot and you just, oh my God, I can't trust yourself. That's kind of how it feels, because I'm like, oh my God, no, in real time, where there are differences and where people focus. And this person is focused on just like keeping their head straight. They can't be with somebody who stressed them out like that. They can't be with somebody who ain't devoted, or that they can be comfortable with or sure of. They can't do that. So it's like this person is changing, and I think karma is in their favor. But it didn't start out well, because whatever this is or whoever it is caused this person like a lot of anxiety and worry. What does help is the transformation in the romantic life. And I feel like what it's the end of is sorrow. Or we can all listen to, because look, I don't have a lot of song inspirations, but Sade's King of Sorrow could tell a story, because I don't know what the song is about. I just like the song. I've been in love with Sade since 96. But I have no idea what King of Sorrow is about, like word for word, the story. So maybe some of y'all can listen to it. I don't know. Usually when we have this many court cards on the table, it's actual people. And then so I do feel that I don't see anything about choices, so I don't want to push it. Let me see if she has a choice. Yeah, maybe. And I say that because Love Spell came out, attraction, self-love, and romance. So this is, because I was like, what is this? And she's in between, and it's like spirit said romance. I mean, damn, how many ways you want to tell the story? Okay, fine. Oh, we got Pluto and Scorpio. That's why Scorpio is right there. Okay. It's okay to start over and over and over again, rebirth, reinvent. So somebody who keeps starting want to start over and over and over again. That's why I said they got on her nerves. It was like very, very much anxiety, very much negativity, right? But she's like in a different space right now. So, oh look, then there's a tower. I wonder why she got the tower. Anyway, I'm so nosy. All right, let's just take clarifiers and then I can sit them down for you. So we'll get a clarifier on him, energetic grounding, and I have a cord wrapped around a heart and a person. Okay. And then we have troubled about finances. See, so for everybody, it's not necessarily a person, it's a situation. That's sometimes how karmic situations and soul growth happens. Some of us experience things through people and it allows us to grow, and some it's circumstantial or situations. But we hold on and take these people personally and feel like they the loves of our lives, and it's like, oh no, you came down here to learn XYZ, and this person is hella good at fucking with people in that way. So the worry and the anxiety, it seems to have come from um finances. So this worry is going to be situated and taken care of, right? With this energetic grounding. So it's what we're manifesting. So now it's not a person, it ain't God, it ain't the cosmos, Saturn don't hate you. Your energy and money didn't get along. You feared it. It make you nervous to think about it. Like right now I'm talking about money, and it's probably you don't feel the same talking about money as you do talking about love or your favorite movie or some food. So that energy changing, don't worry, because here is the windfall with the Wheel of Fortune, and it says cash windfall here. There's going to be a lump sum of money that allows you to invest. There is good fortune coming, and this is what's coming towards you. This is like near future type energy, and it's coming from the other side. I love that. The Nine of Swords also talks about like walking between worlds, or just like the veil, it's us over here, the veil, and then the vortex. So some of you is some cash over there. All right. Honor what is ending. So there are endings. Something will not be the same. Something is changing. It's right there. That's at the bottom of the deck. It could also be this ending, which is the King of Swords, who is normally like an older figure. For some, if there has been an ending, like literally someone who ain't with us no more, a husband, a father, like an older male figure, there could be some sort of gift or something you receive, on his behalf or something like that. And if it's not a physical person, if we're talking about in spirit, right? That's cute, right? Because I love that. So here she is, journey, travel, and distance. This card keeps coming up. Another 7. You got 78 and you got 7 again. Journey, travel, and distance. And it just talks about literally relocating. Some of you may need to relocate, like go somewhere else to start building your home life. If you hadn't gotten what is it? I can't even call it. The astrology reports, like when I do your natal charts, it does come with astrotography, I think is what it's called. Don't think I'm just making it up, because if that's not a word, I'm totally coining it, because this is Astronaut Hoochie like sponsored, right? That's my LLC. So, or actually corp, but if it's not coined, I'm coining it astrotography, but I think that's what it's called. So you would be better off business wise in another location. Now, for some of you, it's for your actual niche, and others of you, it's just a partnership that you could benefit from financially. And I know that sounds messed up, but sometimes when you guys talk about generational wealth and going from where you are to riding on yachts, it may benefit you to link up with somebody who got one, instead of you going from 0 to 100. Because yes, we can manifest. Yes, you can do it. Yes, I believe in unicorns. But realistically, some of you guys want to have that experience for real before life is over with. And that's just good game and common sense, right? If you want generational wealth, listen, hear me out, because you still have, with all the superpowers and gifts and positivity and manifestation, you can think of there are still practical politics in life. And it is very ambitious for a person to say, I got $107 in my bank account right now, but I would like to experience money like Elon, or I would like to experience an estate. I would like to buy a castle in England, because they ain't, it's the goddamn houses in Beverly Hills cost more than the castles in England. But some of you guys really want those things, and you're not just saying it. So getting into a partnership with someone who may be a widow or widower, okay, that just came out of nowhere. But getting into a partnership with someone who could be very authoritative, very attractive, having the money already, or for some of you guys in the audience, a female that may have the money already, maybe she's the divorcee or widow or whatever. But there's some sort of legacy being built, because you did have the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and it also talks about health too. So make sure you guys are doing your heart meditations and doing your breath work, because energy is currency, and that could affect your finances. So it's just not thoughts and depression causing friction between you and your manifestation. For some of you, it's just poor health, and I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't go into it. But we did talk about the significance of actual oxygen and breathing going into not only the brain, but the blood. Okay. A lot of you that are interested in like breaking generational curses or holistically working through your neurological system, your brain and your blood are very important. Okay. And air is free most of the time. All right. So that was kind of cool. Let's see here. For romantic, right. For romantic, if you out of this card, spirit know this card be making me mad. Cause I'm like, what the fuck is that even? Excuse me. I was doing good, y'all. I've been on professional trying to practice for getting ready for Gaia TV, child. And I'm gonna keep being professional. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna stop being so cool and hip all the time. But I'll be losing it. If you want peace, prepare for war. I do not like that. But we did talk about the Knight of Cups in shadow, not appearing as prepared as the other knights when it comes to things that could be unfavorable along his journey of getting what he wants in his heart. It's like, yeah, I okay, thank you, Livy. I know what I want in my heart, but oh my God, this rock in the road, I can't get around it. Oh my God, it's raining. Oh my God, it's cold. Oh my God, I'm hungry. Oh my God, they're not listening. Oh my God. Oh my God. Right? But that happens. And I shouldn't even be an antagonist right now, because I've done it. We all can do it. It's a human behavior, even if, we don't all experience it the same. But I just wanted to make a point that if you want peace, prepare for war. I feel like, because the oracle cards, you have to go with a channeled message or what, because they don't do guidebooks a lot of times with the new cards, and I love that. That's why I got these from another little girl on Etsy. But this card, ever since I got it, I ain't gonna say I didn't like it, and I think the Knight of Cups would say that too, because it's like, war, what? I didn't sign up for this shit. But it's basically saying whatever you intuitively got. I want to say that first. But for me, it made it sound like you have to fight to have peace. So then why do I want peace if I still have to fight? But it's like you have to fight for whatever you want, baby. Somebody ain't gonna agree with you. Somebody is not gonna give it to you easily, right? I want peace. Why would I have to prepare for war? Because it's a lot of motherfuckers that don't want peace, that don't care about peace. So if you want it and you not a hermit, a monk, or manic introvert, there are going to be other people in the environment, buddy. And it's like passive aggression ain't gonna get nowhere. So I ain't finna go all long winded. You get it? But whatever you feel when you see the oracle cards, also go with you guys' own intuition. But it was like, if you want peace, prepare for war. It's like, god damn. If I want to manifest something, if I want some money, if I want to break generational curses, if I want to travel, um, that comes with the territory of the process of transformation. And I just don't like, I don't know, I don't like doom and gloom. I actually don't like that she put this, because peace to me comes from, in my personal experience, because I'll tell y'all when it's personal or if I'm channeling something, but my personal experience, my peace comes from within. My peace comes from me choosing it and ignoring things around me. So where I could stand up and go to war with a motherfucker, peace for me is doing the opposite of that. Like, you trying to trick me. You want me to get up and yell. You want me to fight you. You want me to get mad. Peace is choosing peace instead of doing that shit. So she young probably, or wherever she is personally. I just don't know why she put that together. But I'm sure y'all do, or it resonates with somebody. So I'll just move forward. A less complicated philosophical way to look at it is Venus. We are talking about Taurus. We are talking about transits. We are talking about how Venus will give us the bag. So the more of the bag, because you're gonna get something regardless. For some of you, it could be small, unexpected incomes. For others of you, it could be a windfall. And now we just discovered something together. Well, why is it different for all of us? Why would she get a house, or a new car, and I get an extra $25, on DoorDash? Your energy is what it says, as well as the charts and the transits. I don't know what you got going on in Venus. We'd have to look at it. But moving on. Oh, look, or see, it don't be, if you ever thought she's an antagonist and a smart ass, it be spirit, because spirit will take not just the interpretation of the cards in the deck, but what we're talking about, like what I'm talking to you about, and then add flavor to it. So I was just like, shit, it just depends on you, player, right? I just made that up. And at the bottom of the deck, it says reap what you sow. So that's the answer. I was like, I don't know. We have to see where Venus is in your chart, why your shit different. But for some of us, like, what have you been doing? Like, that's a lot, has a lot to do with it. And for some of you, it isn't physical all the time. It says energetic grounding. So who has been doing internal work the most, shadow work the most? Putting in work, growth, and nurturing. You got that at the bottom of the deck. So there's that. Now, their prayers are useless. Divine, I knew it, bro. Like, I wish, I don't know, the cards make it fun. But if I put my cards away and just talked, I could promise you guys a divine, like, channeled message. I promise you. At the beginning of the reading, when we were talking about Scorpio, and we were talking, no, I'm sorry, we weren't talking about Scorpio. We were talking about two people or an experience in a person, because your soul is having an experience here. And sometimes what you need to see, or what you're attracting, is going to come in the form of a person, place, or a thing. Now, when we described it as the person, you guys may not have been talking, and we told the whole story of y'all love life. So go back to the beginning of the video. But I did say that this person, I was like, I want to be a normal fucking YouTube tarot reader where it just sounds so regular and it fits everybody and it don't make no sense. And I'm sitting in the audience wondering how they left 700 comments because they ain't said shit, right? I want to do that. I'll be like wanting to try new things. But I am not good at not being specific. So I just don't be. My point is, or no. My point was, sometimes the truth is the truth. I ain't gonna even say it's negative. I feel I don't feel everybody come to divinity for the truth. I wish you would. You know what I mean? I think people come for inspiration and entertainment, which is also cool. But the truth, I don't know. But if you're in the audience right now, say, girl, I come for the truth. Put the truth in the chat. At any rate, at the beginning of the video, when we talked about that demographic of relationship, I mentioned that he probably hadn't changed. This, and I said the only time these type of people do change is if there's some sort of divine intervention. Because this person, not that it's all people, are all twin flames, are all karmics. Because some of you had confusion with the twin flame being the karmic for real. And this person could be, and I know it's a stretch because this relationship was like you guys are not talking to each other. Both people put their swords up. Both people said this is dead and it's done. But there could be some awakenings, and I finally get it, and I need to be spiritually fed, and you're the only spiritual person I know, so maybe I messed up some of that, or you improve, right? And then they now see you differently. So here we come. I don't like that, but that's not my business. But their prayers are useless. Divine intervention, unforgiven abomination. The number 16, that's the tower. So it could be Uranus. It ain't always doom and gloom like an unexpected death for real. Some of y'all, I mean, it could happen. It could be a father. It could be a husband. I can't not say that. It's here. And it has something to do with the situation that we won't dig further in. But for those where it isn't that specific, so I'm not lacking empathy, but I am autistic. So I will not just automatically get into my feelings because I said that. Uranus and who else? Is it both Uranus? Cool. Yeah. Pluto. Yeah. It's just a strong energy. That's the challenging aspect of it. For some of us, that unexpected transformative energy could have complicated finances, relationship, and energy. And we were struggling to have peace. So the war was more spiritual. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. Because I'm like, why would she? What the? So, yeah. But that divine intervention right there is just what I said. I promise you. Either that's what broke y'all up or the timeline switched. I ain't going to hold you, man. Like some of you guys may have supposed to have been rich. For real. I'm not just saying it because we already had that speech. Some of you could have actually supposed to been with this person. Like you were not tripping. It didn't work out that way, or things are a little bit differently than you presumed, but you wasn't crazy. Like you actually were right. What you felt was right. I don't know why, Spirit. Because it wasn't a dark energy that did it. It's only God that can do something like that, unless you related to some time shifting archangel ascended master. I don't know, and that's just as extreme, right? As me saying that you was right the whole time and not crazy like everybody told you were. But some divine, I'm not saying entity to these people, spirit. Something out bigger than us, right? Shifted something. It was an unexpected ending. It changed unexpectedly. You stopped believing something unexpectedly. Like, and it has nothing to do with you. And it could not even be a folklore or an entity. It could as easily be the energy of Uranus when it gets out of body. Right? So anyway, and then Aquarius is here. So Aquarius, Uranus, Scorpio, all together, in shadow, that is a struggle. In the light, it's getting fire up under you. Okay. Letting it all work together instead of going back and forth, side to side. Okay. Now, if some of you do believe in dark spells and black energy, it does talk about cleansing negativity, spiritual cleanse, spiritual baths. So I feel like some of you practitioners, holistic practitioners, may be good when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like Venus and Mars working well together. There's a trine or a transit coming up. And it's an opportunity where the veil is thin for something you want to come over. And that thing that you want to come over is money to invest for this business or ideas. For some of you guys, it's ideas, right? And I feel like it's a holistic based business where you making things, because she look really cool. Now, I also like this relationship demographic. This This karmic band here. I think they have a strong attraction. I feel like she changed because she was on some, because I talked about where he changed that. So that's so cute. Watch this. So she may have been caretaking. She may have been playing a more supportive role. Maybe he liked that. Maybe she seems more feminine now. I don't know. Because no. The King of Wands and this lady in this tub doing all this like girly girl stuff, and this eclipse right here, the sun and this moon, and I just talked about working together and whatever this transit is that's happening that sparks about this thing. Either that's how it was and it changed and rocked you, right? Or that's how it is or it's gonna be. And I saw the change. Thank you, Spirit. See what I'm saying? I'm not alone here, bro. It sucks. Sometimes I be feeling like I'm alone because it's only two of y'all, but I'm trying not to focus on it because I be like, fuck this shit. I could go to the mall. Um, I don't have time for this shit. But look at that. Remember earlier, you guys, when I was talking about this car and I focused in on the chain and I was like, I didn't want to say the bond was broken, but I was like, something ends or you get released, and I thought immediately like a job or something like that, because like what else do you get released from? But if it's a cycle of repetitiveness, you get released from something that no longer serves you. And I think it could also have to do with binding, right? We talked about that, and I saw a movie about that. It was this librarian lady who was binded at birth because her, that's funny, Spirit, because her parents didn't want her to get taken by the authority figures, so they hid her magic, and that's technically binding her. Like you can't utilize it, it ain't a part of you, da 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 da. But then something happened, right? She met this boy and he liked her and she liked him. And then boom, broke the spell. I did see Love Spell earlier, but I just be getting tired of all that. If we talking about astrology and horoscope, I don't give a damn about all that Love Spell and stuff. But I did see it. That's funny. Power struggle, ego versus heart. I don't know if that was for me or you guys, but that's funny because I did see it, but I was like, what does it have to do with anything? Now this person could have had that, she could have had that, he could have had that, the parents could have had that, because we're also talking about this tree and the Ten of Pentacles. But it is a demographic of a storyline that involves multiple components, and there's some sort of motion coming into it. The motion that's coming into it, I feel like, does affect someone romantically. So for some of you, it is a soul partner. I don't want to call them a twin flame, and I don't want to call them a karmic if you're not sure, or I don't want to offend you. Anyway, this thing that comes out of the blue, because we got, that is crazy. Maybe that's why Spirit said, why did you move it? I don't know. But look how you have the heart, the will, and the chain all together. Yeah. The karmic bonds. We have past lives, cycles, lessons, unstable relationships, unresolved issues from them. This could be a particular moment in time where we're experiencing those things, and they should not be overanalyzed or put a lot of pressure. And I'm gonna give you anxiety because I'm telling you about it. Just do keep in mind that it's here. And instead of like working more, it's like you taking care of yourself may improve your situation more than you working harder. So if like you ignore some things regarding yourself, if you put yourself second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and you're more focused on taking care of anything, not taking care of anything, but taking care of everything, that could be an issue. And then the day that you realize that this advice is perfect for you changing your relationship cycles or just your life experience cycles, you're going to now go face to face with the baby you created, because you put yourself in a position. And here I go, you. But I just say all the time that I'm autistic, so you can't fight me. I think it's illegal. But this these circumstances that have been more important than you the whole time, you're gonna fight with them. And that may be the peace versus war thing, because we have finances on one side, we have romance on one side, and then we have us being overstimulated and overworked, or just like, and it very masculine energy is what I'll say. And you could be a man or a woman, but it just means like grind to the gristle. It has not been a soft life for you. And then for some of you, you're going to notice the soft life. And it's like, why? Well, the divine intervened. The cycle's changed. You got some help somewhere and they in your heart, and you activate your heart, and they on the other side. And it's like, here go a couple of dollars. I think that's dope. But why do we have, like I said, I hope it's the end of grief, sorrow, and betrayal. But let's see. Because where are the cards at? Oh, okay. I want to use these. Let me see why. He came back out. Maybe Spirit said no, or to not get that card lost. My bad. This be so funny. It's the end of juggling. It's the end of a karmic contract. Look at that. It's those two now, because I'm talking about spirit. The thing, whatever this tower moment is, this unexpected information, download, money, breakup, ending, tragedy, rar. Because karma, I mean, the wheel of fortune and Uranus with Pluto, those some big things, right? So whatever it is big. And I feel like for some, because I ain't never seen, I have never saw the three flames or the three windows in the tower, and the three flames can sometimes in shadow represent delays. So if we delay something, it's gonna be an unexpected incident. So just be mindful of that. What we talked about, being grounded in your travels, needing some sort of change. For some of you relocating, it's like delaying causes more urgency. Urgency causes chaos. Chaos causes a lot of juggling. How to bring that back into balance is be more adaptive. And for others of you, it's like, I don't like side hustle, but if you into that, that's cool. Because we just talked about the difference between grinding and like soft life. But there's some sort of change. And look at that. Remember when what is this? He's literally jumping off the cliff, like right here. It's a sign. It says warning. And then it's like, I don't know. He wouldn't have been walking right. He wouldn't have been where he was right here if he looked at the sign sooner. Okay. So that's some news you can use. I don't even know what it's for, and I don't think I have to. And then it's like the sign is here. That same sign is there. And they both pointing here. Leo karma, Leo wheel of fortune. Leo season is coming August. It also talks about authority and influence. We have chaos and I don't want to say crisis ahead. That's ignorant. Oh, you got to be kidding me. It's the three of wands in my hand. So who didn't grow? Back to the karmics. Okay. So what's his name? Whoever Cujo was, that, like I said, somebody grew, somebody didn't grow, somebody put their sword up, both people put their swords up. Whatever your thing is. And then I talked about Mars and Venus, and I was like, maybe it's not as big as I made it. Maybe it's just Venus and Mars, and here's literally Mars. That is insane. Venus was right here. She's doing some sort of maybe a trine. This trine is going to help switch the demographic of love life. Oh my God. And then here we are back with this transformation. I feel like it's a husband for some of you guys. That's crazy. Now we done dipped off to this, but I say that because I thought it was the emperor, but it's the king of wands. And so the only connection they have to me are both like masculine energies, but the difference between an entrepreneur and a CEO. And then lastly, somebody else's husband versus your husband, right? The emperor usually shows up as somebody else's husband, not your husband. He is a husband. I wouldn't have to tell you about a husband because you got one, right? I hope I'm saying that right. I think the king of wands is like a good husband, a potential husband. You know, it could be your husband, the father of your children, type deal. And they are here, or this figure is here, you know. So anyway, that's crazy. While I was talking, Because I was like, look at the three windows, look at the three wands. Here is the three wands. And for some, it's expansion and moving out. Oh, look at that plane catching a flight. Somebody gonna be doing that. Somebody wants to do that. Somebody's gaining momentum. It's in the card right there. It's, yeah, not gassing you. Something is loading. Okay. Same time. All right. If it isn't done, I feel like if there are delays, because look at that goal. If there are delays, what could have been an opportunity turns into a tower moment. And that's what makes it feel like this topsy-turvy energy of deadline, juggling, give and take, trying to balance and adapt. And like I said, financially, for some of you, it's even a side hustle. For opportunists that are wanting to complete a contract out of opportunity, which is okay, because we talked about our Pisces Libra couple. I ain't gonna say no names, but I was like, girl, maybe it helped them as a whole, but it didn't help her as her, if you ask me. But I don't know what she want. I don't know. I ain't in that lady business. Now we have curiosity. Curiosity is like the King of Swords. A good energy from the King of Swords, because curiosity allows someone to seek knowledge. Curiosity sparks interest. Curiosity is like what'll make somebody come up and say the first words. So you know what I mean? So I kind of like it, but it's also connected to the devil. I don't see the devil, but I do see karmic bonds. We talking about unresolved issues, past lives, and cycles, and I don't like our little poor Page of Wands with this King of Wands right here, because that definitely talks about struggle. But I guess until I see the Five of Pentacles, I ain't gonna just say that. But it's definitely giving struggle. And I feel like this easing up, soft life energy is what helps break a karmic cycle for some of you and have better relationships with money or men or people. So there's that. We have what if. And it's like, what if what, baby? There's a lot of exploration here and potential. So I really feel like actually moving, like movement or moving is important. You could also get some news. Okay. I don't know why I saw the Page of Wands. It's like Two of Wands. So it's like, this is next. Damn. Okay. My light bulb coming back on. Yeah, it's like next. But we have try, and then we have ideas, a spark. So just keep that in mind if some things come up in the near future. Somebody wants to try maybe something that didn't work out. So I already said that, something that didn't work out so well before, they're willing to try. This is crazy. I can't make this up. Watch this. You got teamwork, co-create, skills, still Hierophant energy. Look, the wife. Now I did say somebody had been married before. I did say that, or divorcee or widow, but I don't think this is everybody's story. We also have the Empress. We were talking about Venus, and Venus is about to do something, and there could be a collaboration coming in their future for you or y'all because of this transit or whatever. It also speaks to the mother. A mother could reach out and be like, oh, I want to work this through. We got to stop this. Whatever. That's on you. Create is here a lot. So some of you, we have potential with create. We have enough create. So this is very grounding energy for my perfectionists that they feel like they need all of these things. Oh, I got to get this. I got to get that. I got to get this. I got to get that. Spirit says enough. And then we have get curious, be inspired, create. And it says try. Some of us just feel like, I'm just trying to see. I need to do my research. I got to write. I got to look. I'm so new. Okay. Spirit says try. Just try. And then I'm with you, human. If you say I have tried and it don't hit on shit, like Spirit can't get mad now. Spirit, I'm representing, I'm the counsel, for these people. But because if you have tried and it didn't hit on shit, then it ain't. I'm just being fair because I don't want to piss you off. I have been listening to a reading and somebody says something, and I'm like, you don't think I did that? In my living room on the TV, like they can hear me. So all of you out there that feel like I have tried, you know what I mean? This might not be your part. I could talk about your part already, or I might talk about your part in a second. Um, and then I just feel so bad for the TikTok people that missed the whole first hour of the reading. So now you got to catch it from here, but that's cool. You know, I'm on Astronaut Hoochie on all platforms, replays available on YouTube. So next step says effort, consult, plan, teamwork, collaboration. It says success, creative, under construction, project. And I love that because it is a thing, a person, or a circumstance. I've been writing this whole time. It's just like, wow. And I feel like that's the same reason why all the signs come in different deacons or whatever. Like it's some power of 3. Maybe that's why she's here. But we have care, grow, we have compassion. She got her shoes off, so that's significant to staying grounded. Maybe she's traveling too. We had somebody traveling in the air. We had some people traveling by foot, child. And we got another tree in here. I think that these are so cute. I don't know when the next harvest moon is. I have to look into it, child, because when I do your forecast, now I'm sure one day I'll be well versed in like the Farmer's Almanac, but right now I just work on what's in the near future, like month for month, week by week. That's how I learn. But I do love the astrologers that I feel like know the sun, moon, and the stars. Like I know sitcoms in the 90s, right? Now, we talked about that 4 of Swords being victory or healing for some. For some of you, I feel like it has to do with the soft life, reset, recovery. I noticed that the 3 of Wands also has this, indoory, peoply, collective, community kind of thing. So I feel like some of your jobs are to heal collectives and communities. So your heartbreak, your pain, your karmic bonds, your family issues, your financial fears, you're breaking through limitations, like all of those things were not curses against you, were not personal at all. But you said, I want to come to earth and be a teacher. I want to come to earth and be an earth angel. I want to come to earth and help people. I'm an empath. I'm a starseed. We can do this. Let's go help the humans who trapped in this metamorphosis of a black hole. And then you get here and y'all the very people that we talking to on YouTube with these cards, which is not funny. But again, I'm inappropriate. And maybe my elevator don't go all the way up, child, because who would laugh after saying something like that? But it is kind of funny. Imagine that shit. We watching a movie and the alien starseed people was like, yeah, we need to help. We need to help. They down there bullshitting, right? We down here bullshitting. They say it. And then they get here and they the main one signing up, trying to get clarity and not understanding. It's like, oh no, you don't say, right? Yo, it's different on this side of the veil, babe. But okay, and so Spirit said, it may not be all theatrical. It's definitely healing. So that's why I got these cards, because it could mean, and it could mean, and it could mean, because intuitively I can feel and see and think of all these ways. But for some of you, the 4 of Swords, this extra sword coming in again at the beginning of the sword, this Knight of Cups comes in, this sword is sitting right there. That wasn't something that I thought was 100% good news. It was actually like 50% great news for some of you, but it was 50% like, why a sword? You know what I mean? It's the 4th sword coming into this. Look at her. Justice with this damn sword. So balance, fairness. Somebody has a question and it says time for facts. I know somebody has something important to say. See, y'all got to go back to the beginning if y'all didn't hear the beginning, because that is where the spring into things. Somebody, I want to do a reading like that, but it's just like, man, if it ain't gonna be if it ain't worth the price of tea in China, baby, I don't know. But I just have this visual of some people who are gonna be experiencing this whole Jupiter, Cancer, Venus, Trine portal thingy that's happening this summer, bro. And I'm saying it's almost as exciting as like whatever love triangle situation was happening when I first started this channel, because I just crept back in here magically. It ain't even been 2 months yet. And then that's the same thing that happened when I first started. I was just doing pick a cards, playing around for a month or two, and then bam, it became a whole thing. And it all started with a video about portals, shifts, star seeds, like the Andromedans were here, Pleiadians. Y'all was coming into odd situations with having encounters with past partners, thinking they was twin flames, probably was twin flames, and karmics was had on sheep's clothing. There were like losses one after another. People blamed that on the pandemic, but I feel like it had something to do with this portal of time. It was a crazy time. And then here we are again, where I heard, right, I'm not trying to project chaos because I don't keep up with this stuff, but if I'm not, if I could be corrected, stand corrected, I heard some crazy stuff about a bold and some germs. I heard some crazy stuff with politics. I heard similar. This is a second attempt, by the way, to do another pandemic. They tried and they keep flopping. And even the pandemic that we had didn't go the way it was supposed to go. Because it's other forces here, and it's the earth itself that start changing its own energy. And NASA did a whole storyline about that. It's a fact. It's not spirituality. And I ain't just sitting here on some sci-fi shit. The earth itself start changing her own frequency, right? So I think that that's like I love that in the divine realm or the quantum realm or the metaphysical realm, that these benevolent or this benevolent energy is still an antagonist, right? Because that's just right in my alley. Like, rock on. But anyway, long story short, yeah, they tried it. It ain't working. So we're here again. It feels like not as aggressively, but for some reason, it's like the clock said, shwoom, shwoom, shwoom. And then now it just picked its own time to say, shwoom, shwoom, shwoom. Like it was purposeful. So I don't feel like we're going back in time, repeating or looping, which we do every day. This seems more like initially the part of the whole process. I feel like whatever this process is, we're not backtracking or going backwards. It ain't over. Like this is still part of that initial process when we was like, huh, something's different, something's off, something's odd, this is crazy. That 10-year stretch, 7-year stretch of what the fuck, right? Crazy. So no, the sword that was here earlier, so that's why I say y'all gotta do the whole story and not just jump in now. But I said it would be 4 swords healing for this third 3 swords, or it could be victory. Spirit was like, it's definitely healing. And then we got balance that came in because the hangman was stuck and waiting and just ready to move on and just take shit how it was. Now, some of y'all, again, is moving. And I feel like look at things differently. It also talks about upload versus being still. So surrendering is okay. Sacrificing is okay. But I think that generates some sort of weight and a need to let go. Because you're sacrificing and surrendering, the energy isn't transforming, and that's the benefit of alchemy. And that's what I appreciate, that we got all benevolent beings. And I feel like they also told us about the warlocks and the demons, but I represent universal concept. And also like the gray area. The gray area is mysticism and alchemy, because one person says God wrote it how it was supposed to go, and that's it. And then on the other side, you got all these transits, and astrology say they control us. But as a mystic or a Jew, I know that I can also, get in the game and grab the ball. And that's what I appreciate. Because fuck you mean it already got wrote. Like, what am I alive for? Fuck. Not me. I mean, y'all can live like that. That's cool. But oh, my life was already written. Like, fuck, who died and said that shit? But that's just me. Don't listen to me. Cause I get away with shit like that. Me and God be laughing. Because God know my heart. Don't you go out there being ignorant, switching your thoughts up. Live how you been living. Now, there's something about a wife or a mother for real, because that did come up kind of. I really think that's about Venus though. But Spirit, are there any words for or about a wife or a mother? It jumped out. Hold on, wait. You might have missed it at first. We got some second chances or what? We have maybe in separation or someone seeking a wife. We have guidance, truth, wisdom, and solitude. So for some of you, there could be someone on the other side that helps you. And others of you, it's seeking. So some of you guys maybe want one, or boom, roaming the earth, because she is the earth, the goddess, empress. And the hermit is the visionary. It is the person that have visions and hear shit, and you do all that. So if you listen for a whisper, there it is. Somebody's in separation, roaming away, because now we got innocence and children. So it's like that's where we're at the distance, and maybe somebody gonna pull up. Child, be careful with that shit, because if y'all talking about pulling up on any of my collective, baby, I work them well. That ain't gonna work. You're gonna be upset. But they want to apologize probably, or heal and fix something. You got somebody who might want to pull up on you, and don't think that it's only for the guys or only for children who have moms, even adult kids, because there shouldn't be no kids on my channel. But sometimes in a twin flame situation, or those of you who believe in past life reincarnation or whatever, or what their sign is, your twin flame or person could show up as this card. Now, it ain't likely, but for me, it is. Like on my channel, it'll happen. Because I like my gift, and I talk to Spirit about it. Like what I want to give you guys, like, not that you won't get it anywhere else, but what is something that's important for me to share with the world is definitely a perspective shift. So I don't like making up shit, but I do like to help those of us who think differently and that are different. And you're not going to get this textbook. I ain't going to say made up, but some stuff be lying, man. And you know it. I'm just trying to be nice. Just like the zodiacs and the natal charts and stuff that a lot of US or Western people do is not accurate in mathematics. Or if you go to India or like Hindu, and I know it's because we're in a different place in the world, but hell, they can do the algorithm from anywhere in the world, and it still be accurate. It don't, So anyway, that's my thing, a shift in perspective. So even though this is a feminine card, it has more to do with Venus, and the partner. So I say that, look at that, boom. So you got open-hearted, it also, okay. Because I don't have empathy for shit. Spirit is like, it also is about compassion. Since you feeling like you want to be an instructor today. All right, so the Empress and Venus are heavy on compassion. Since I talked about healing, retreating, white flag, surrender, and apologies, don't listen to me. Don't let me rile y'all up. Okay. We have create curiosity and be gentle again. And to hear that, remember when I said the hermit listening for, because it's you all you got. When the hermit start listening to the earth, that's a person with a strong sense of purpose that has some sort of gifts and abilities or some sort of job to do, a connection. Like, the little dude, like whatever. He came off like the Hierophant because he was religious. But if you have like this strong purpose driven thing and you're not necessarily religious, you will come up as like hermity. You know what I mean? Because I was going to refer to the fifth element, the guy who knew the destiny of life and was prepared for her to come and kind of like knew what all to do. Those people are not just nerds and read a lot of books, so they just know things. They have inner knowings, and they sit in silence and in separation waiting for those calls. You know what I mean? Some of you have that, and Spirit is saying, listen, it's gentle, right? It's tender, it's calm. Look at that. And you have to also be in that energy, not just the earth or the higher priestess or the Holy Spirit. It has to be a frequency match, even for something like that, unless, like I said, there's divine intervention. And it's like, I can do this, but you still may need to do this, or I'm gonna do this during this to get this. You know what I mean? It's like a y'all about to do some collaborating. I think for some of you guys, it's you and God, you spirit, you source, whoever you believe in. You guys are the one doing this collaboration with divine intervention meets the right time. And I think that that's super dope. As we talk about the right time, hey, we got an offer. And I feel like the offer is some bit of income that could lead to something very lucrative, especially if I have any designers, if you into clothes, or just something along that arena. Some of you guys may receive an invite to an outdoor event. We did have that. And as I'm speaking, this person hasn't asked you out yet, but in the near future, and I'm going to trip out, I would love for you to come back to this video. There is someone who's going to invite a person to a very floral filled event or an outdoor event. Spirit said that's the whole reason for the spring to summer. So you might even have to come back Leo season, but I promise you, if you just ain't like, don't give a fuck about me, or if your memory just not bad, you'll come. I expect at least this one person to come back and be like, girl, or whatever you call me. All right. But it also talks about independence. Curiosity and independence during all these things is how somebody would have to be hyper independent. And I ain't gonna even go to the stereotypes and the taboo topics of hyper independent women and what they went through to become that, and what could help change the trajectory of what they I'm not laughing, you guys. Somebody said it's a trauma response, I swear. But I don't know. When humans be like doom and gloom talk, I just be hearing words. So I would possibly, y'all heard it. Y'all know people that post about that all the time. They be like, me and my friend laugh at the wrong time. Well, it's just me and I laugh all the time. But anyway, where are we at? Hyper independent, yeah. Cycles, yeah. Masculinity, yeah. Hard life, yeah. Want a soft life, yeah. Some sort of financial independence helps. Some people work so hard because they have to, and it has a lot to do with children, being a mom. Okay. Some wives, now I couldn't imagine a wife living a hard life. Damn, sis, you must have married for love. No, I'm just playing. Yeah. Okay, Nine of Pentacles is probably being single. Like, good deal. Now, I know you're not trying to get at some married woman. Now, we do be having those conversations, but I'm trying to move forward with y'all and like grow and expand to help the whole planet. But there is somebody giving this wild ass offer, bro. Oh my God, to somebody else's wife, or like a divorcee or a widower, whatever. And I don't know if he or she is, I don't know, bro, because on one end you have karmic bonds, but I do see great luck and big fortune, and then honor what is ending. That's some toxic ass shit. And so that's just like somebody timeline shifting. Imagine being in a situation that involves somebody and you feel like you should have never been in that situation. And then spirit comes, something unexpected and probably awful happens, but you shifted out of that shit and then boom, back on track. That's crazy. Ooh, look at that. All right, so damn. Look at that. Spirit might want me to just get some more cards. Usually where we start is where I stop. We started with the 10 of Pentacles and it was an entirely different deck. But 9 and 10 of Pentacles, babe, that's like somebody that, let me start with the high end. That is someone who I feel like has a very important thing coming up in this Taurus, Venus-y sort of end of spring energy. So this whole end of spring, this whole timing thing, this whole near future, next 30 days, next 60 days, next 24 hours, I don't know. That's really huge for someone. I also feel whatever this feminine energy is and this complicated connection is big. Whether you're about to become more social, half-ass be famous, or like get some money, that's gonna bring people back in that already left you where you were standing at. And I ain't trying to sway your judgment on how you act when they do that. So some others of you are being independent from spirit said gaslighting. Wow. Independent from family matters, generational issues, and bad blood. And when I say bad blood, I mean bad blood. Like just behavioral disorders, medical issues, personality traits, poverty. That's what generational curses are. If people didn't know, like when you hear somebody say, I'm breaking generational curse, it's not like, oh, I'm the first person to go to college and I'm the first person to have a couple of dollars. That's not it. It's like, I'm the first person that thinks fucking differently, like all together, right? That don't do some of the egregious shit they doing or want more than they wanted or has more hope or more light and higher vibration. When you talk about generational issues, you are definitely talking about blood, and blood comes with DNA that's programmable and repetitive, and that does include intricate things like, I just don't want to be her. I don't want to be him. We ain't finna be that, right? So there comes independently doing it by my own or with the collective and a partner. Ooh, now I still ain't seen choice yet, right? Because I was like, Spirit, did this lady have a choice? Because she had the King of Swords on one side and she had the King of Wands on the other side. And I think the King of Wands was broke. I ain't gonna hold you. And the spirit of Leo, forgive me, baby, because you know I'm your girl. But while this struggle conversation had came up over here, and then this just toxic ass shit came up over here. I don't know. But back to the money. So it's not always about money though. It is health. It is getting out more. It is looking good. It is being with yourself. It is very abundant, but it's independently. So coming over codependency or those helicopter parents and all that, like somebody, you can feel safe. You need to heal your own shit. Cause this your child or this person is gonna have their own life, baby, and ain't gonna struggle like you did. So you don't have to helicopter. Right? But I do feel like a single woman could be getting an offer, and this may have potential, but it's just potential. So I ain't gonna say, I was about to say don't ruin it. I need to go to etiquette. I'm gonna go to tact class. I'm not, nope. Okay. I could have said it differently though. But it's like, I ain't tell you what to do, but yes, don't ruin it for real. Like, if it's a lot of money, like you look like it, you act like it, or spirit just gonna put this halo glow on you. And then you come into an opportunity that's really big that you can leave a legacy to this helicopter kid that you roller coaster in. And or this just is the document, the agreement, the contract, the potential, the opportunity itself, a commitment, but it's kind of like the potential of it, you know what I mean? But it's really good though. Okay. If you looking for some sort of heirloom or mature male, because that's mature male over there with the King of Swords is the mature male. It's an end of I don't like the King of Wands in this experience, bro. Yeah, don't come back to me. I'm sure somebody said that. That's not Jesus Christ. That's not funny. But if you got an ex that had a partner and he loses his partner, whether they break up or just ain't here no more with us, and then they want to offer something to you, like, yeah, we got a family together, or y'all got kids together, or I just want you back. It's like, wow, that's something. I don't know. That's well, I can't say insane. That's crazy. That's something else. All right, let's see what else we got. I've been talking for 2 hours. That's nuts. Okay. I think we're gonna end it. I don't feel like I will go longer on the lives, when there's more participation. But don't worry, guys. I will be here and we're gonna stick to a timing that I had. I planned on doing uploads because I don't mind live and Saturdays because I be live on TikTok every day almost. So I ain't gonna even lie. Shout out to TikTok, because if it wasn't for me going live over there or being in live so much over there, I would have still been struggling to hit this button over here. Cause I just be asking spirit, like, what are we hitting it for? Right. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what are we hitting it for? But The buttons are still getting hit. Oh, look at that. It's like home sweet home. Come in, we're here. Community, you belong here. Oh, I belong here. Oh my God. Okay. Thank you. Make it seem like that then. But anyway, um, and I didn't even show y'all my new ones. I'll show y'all my new ones right quick. Cause yeah, it's the weekend, child. My son, like, we be hanging out and playing and having fun. And yeah, we will. Hold on, sweetheart. I'm still streaming. I appreciate the 2 to 3 of you guys that have been in here consistently, but child, please. Um, Olivia, don't be mean. Okay, so I've had channel messages, and I'm gonna leave this up because if people come here and Olivia, okay, if people come, okay, if people come to our collective, I'm always very authentic about like who I am, and so y'all know me, but I'm not gonna like play sweet and clean up well for them. So I said what I said. What are we doing it for? Like, that's an honest question. Okay. So we got initiation and lapis lazuli. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got for the collective. We have liberation from limited beliefs, initiation. So things, oh my God, no, you better not be talking about me. Leave me out of this. Okay. I I don't like to project squad, so I'll be clear with spirit because sometimes if you've ever done tarot cards or tried to read for yourself and it just get weird sometimes, I always set the intention just for the collective, okay? The universe is listening closely to your heart. That's consistent with you guys getting the Knight of Cups, so be mindful. And it says your power. Now, your power has a message from Leo, okay? No shade, Leo. I'm sorry what I said earlier, okay? Step into your power openly and unapologetically. Courage, creative expression, leadership, and joy. Are you dimming your light to make others comfortable? That's a message. Okay. We have omens, so be mindful of that. I saw 2 jaguars on Instagram in one day. It's so funny, like 2 days ago. And I was like, oh my God, I remember Sasha. I think that's his name. That sounds odd that I said Sasha in his. But there's a reader here on YouTube. And he would always talk about omens and shit. I was like, he making us all schizophrenic. We walk around looking for this shit he talking about. But I mean, when he was saying stuff like, you're gonna see a crazy bird or a bird do something crazy, and that birds could be acting crazy all day long, but it's something about somebody telling you to look out for that. Maybe you just see it. But I have seen a bird do something crazy. I don't know, or I just made it seem crazy in my head. Like, yeah, that was crazy. Oh my God, he was so right. Let's see what else we got. Oh my God. Yo. Let's see. I think it's the timing though. So no shade. I usually upload honestly in the middle of the night. I'm an early morning person. So I told Spirit that, you know, I want to do early mornings, but I have businesses to run and customers to be with and a kid. So Spirit always was like at night, but I'm spoiled. So it's like at night, shit, after doing all that, that's when I'm just supposed to chill and watch TV. What do you mean? Like create content. And then so that's sometimes something to think about. When you are a business owner, or a wife or a husband, that is not a content creator. Content creators sit and create content and like fuck around with entertaining on the internet. It take way more than that to be a business owner. It take way more than that to be a husband or a wife. It takes way more than that to be a parent. So it's like I'm starting to I think I'm experiencing like business owners and like CEOs or like the finance guys and girls, or like the lawyers and all that, the people who just like do things and not the entertainment part, as something. When you try to 50-50 do both, that's very something. It'll pull at you in a way. Like if part of you or most of you is an authoritative, like you top dog, like, and it's not ego. You literally just have the credentials and get paid to do things that are very essential, right? And then there's this very humble, cute, uh artistry, creative thing part of it. Like those are two different energies. And I think maybe it's Taurus season, because Taurus is supposed to be grounded and worky and like, duty or whatever. I don't know. But maybe I'm getting some of the energy, but slow down. Okay. But yeah, so you have earned worthiness. You don't have to work hard. And that's what I'm sitting here telling them, baby. Yeah, we right on time. It says pressure from expectation. I ain't holding you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. If anybody need to hear that, the universe is listening to your heart, babe. And so if you want a soft life, that's what that Leo it said. Thank you, Leo. Leo coming to clear itself up. Cause I was like, Leo, is you broke? Nah, it was trying to explain the soft life versus the struggle aspect, and how you can get further faster with a high vibration than you could doing all that running around that you're doing. All of that work out of things outside of you that you're doing so well. Some of us are perfectionists. Some of us are researchers. Some of us are writing. Some of us are, I got to be more social. I got to look different. I got to wear things different. I got to have better habits. Maybe you're doing some 28-day habit breaking course. Spirit said you doing I think that's happened. I think that's happened. Listening to myself talk to y'all is so crazy. It's like a spiritual person, or like air, water, an eccentric person, Aquarius, Pisces, da da da. If you worked on maturing and growth over time to be more practical and rational and logical, it's like now is the time where, oh yeah, taking spiritual baths and self-love will help you way more than, putting your big girl drawers on and rolling your sleeves up, get it out the mud. I don't know if many people were talked to like that, or like that talks that way. You could be from a community or a collective where you're like, which is great. You could be experiencing these things in a mirror where your love life, work life, and self expression do still have some terminologies in it, like the things that I've mentioned. Others may experience the ego fight, the internal war and peace that we talked about, or relationship demographics. But Spirit definitely said your energy, your power, your personal power that pulls from this mystical, magical vortex that you believe in is asking you to slow down, because either you've earned, right? Or there's nothing for you to earn. This is a physical place. Like true value in your spiritual work, personal growth, or soul journey cannot be measured by your earthly accomplishments. That is not fair to even do that. Earth is a baby. Humans are babies. These planets been going on for probably unlimited amount of time, because first they said hundreds of thousands when we was kids. Now all of a sudden it's millions and billions. What, the dinosaurs was millions, right? But religion and most of these continents only 2,000 years old is beyond me. So anyways, there could be pressure from expectations. That's funny. I knew Taurus or Virgo had something to do with this. I thought this was going to say source. I got a special card in here that says source. But the signs are important. This is the energy I was talking about. As soon as I said Taurus or Virgo has something to do with this, Libra came out. And that's what I'm saying, bro. It don't be me that's hyper fixated or like obsessed with particular storylines or signs. I think Spirit be trolling. I ain't gonna hold you. If you feel like, oh, that's so disrespectful, Spirit be trolling, bro. You're learning a lesson through this, okay? You could be. That's that karma was there. Remember? Now, silver keys, I like. This is something new that I learned. So I like these channel messages because I actually learned some stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna share it with him. And I took time out to do this. Look at this myself. So the silver key. Ooh, hidden opportunities. We saw that the hidden opportunity is the offer, the sword that's coming toward you from the vortex through your heart. Like the universe said, you doing a whole bunch of shit, but I listen to your heart. I am not listening to your words. And there's something in your heart that the universe heard that you're going to get. Now, I could be fucked up and like mess up this beautiful story and say, be careful what's in your heart, because they're not listening to your mouth. Because Abraham Hicks talked about that all the time. And it was like, shit, you can say it, you can mantra it, write it down all you want to, but if it ain't in you, it's not coming. That may be true and somebody need to hear that. But the story is, I feel like it's something good. I feel like it's something favorable. I feel like it's a gift. I feel like it's sacred, meaning that it's coming from a good place, from good people. And when I say people, I mean God or invisible hierarchies, higher uppers. So you safe this time, but don't be having stuff in your heart and then something else coming out your mouth. Now, the hidden opportunity, a way into a room you wouldn't otherwise be in. Oh my God. You know what? I do this for fun. If people be like, that lady is crazy, this is so fun because me and Spirit really be sitting here talking to y'all for real. So I'm not here by myself, and I'm not just like fucking around, because that would eat me up. I promise you, I'd be bored and I'd just be watching TV or like doing something else. But why I said that, because I always give a disclaimer, not to say that you guys aren't important, but we're in a very transformative phase right now. And Spirit just be keeping me company. But at the beginning of this video, I told y'all about cusp. Remember? And part of the cut, one of the cusp that started the whole reading out, that literally represents spring into summer. So I thought that was cute. Like, you know, I got to watch out for these brands, you know, trying to trademark my phrases, but it's not my phrase, but spring into summer. I think somebody probably even uses that as a tagline, but spring into summer is just like the transit, which is like June and July. Anyway, the word on the bottom of this card is that transit. And so it coming back out specifically talking about hidden opportunities, when the outcome card had hidden and then the 3 stars on it. For some of you guys, the 3 stars is like the 3 of Pentacles, which does talk about teamwork or some sort of collaboration. It does have something to do with work, or it could even come as late as August or September, because I'm talking about spring to summer, and it's like Spirit was disagreeing with me, but I don't like being cut off, or like we was knee deep into understanding that earlier, and then when Spirit be like on something else, I be like, don't confuse me in public. So that makes sense. Spring into summer does represent the cusp behind silver keys. But for some of you, it could be this date, this timeline. There's a delay possibly. If there's a delay, it's some confusion and complication with, you want this, but do you honestly feel like you deserve it, or are you going over the top, overdoing it for it, or whatever? Let it grow naturally. The same. I ain't gonna even. This is crazy. This is so weird. But we be asking for this. But this is so weird. The same name. The same transit, bro. The same what is it called? Cusp. And if you just tuning in, you got to go back to the beginning of the video. We did the astro dice, and the astro dice landed on an astrological component, which was a cusp, one of the cusp sign that was in transition between, I want to say, what, 7th and 8th house, 6th, 7th, or 7th and 8th house is a cusp. Anyway, but these 2 cards are key phrases that are from that. This is how I did this deck for you guys. They're channel messages, and I based it all on astrology and some real life experiences, a few jokes here and there, finances, love, career. I tried to just at least do at least a couple of cards that were relatable, but for the most part, these channel messages were all dedicated to the sky. Like I'm the new Mayan, and these the Wheel of Fortune, where I took constellations, planets, transits, houses, zodiacs, and we talking real life. Um, like if somebody asked me to put the moon in the sixth house in Pisces in a conversation or say, what is that like? These cards tell those stories. So I thought that was so dope. Anyway, we have emotional suppression, which somebody is going to feel like they're in power. somebody is going to feel like they're in power. Um, if you had a hard time and then somebody come around like, I'm so sorry, rah, 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 that is healing, right? You are going to feel empowered. I don't know what you do next. It's on you. Okay, don't ask me. We also have December 18th through the 25th, fire, air, Sag, cup, cusp, ninth, 10th house. We have Jupiter and Saturn. The clever flame. Survival through wisdom, moving silently, timing strategically, and navigating difficult environments. So somebody who didn't communicate what they wanted to say, trying to find the best time, probably still watching you to do whatever that they do, but that's on you. We also have purposeful success. So alignment with destiny. For some of you guys, there's going to be not those karmic situations. It's going to be zero loop integer. Okay, I talked too fast. Okay, because zero loop integer is definitely for karmic relationships and twin flames. It means that there's no stop. It keeps looping. It's going to keep repeating. There's no program or code that stops it. So it's just going to keep repeating itself. It's going to keep beginning when it ends. It'll begin when it ends. So I apologize for moving fast too forward, because I was like, some of y'all ain't going to go through any of that. Some of y'all specifically about to loop with a couple of people, but I'm not projecting that into your lives. You'll know if these people resemble past people or if they're the actual past people themselves. Just keep that in mind. But it does say alignment with destiny. Purposeful success enhances confidence. I like, some twin flames work it out and it's better for them overall. Like, if somebody wanted a personal victory of, nah, you dragged me through the mud, so now I don't care what you do, it's just no, right? I'm not trying to get you to do that. It could sound like it. I'm very fair when I explain that I have seen some people accept the past for what it was, move forward together, and they come out on top financially. They come out comfortable. Like, it could do something for the other person to just have this person. I don't care what the fuck that person does or who they are or what they put you through. It's just like something about that person that pulls out a certain part of you. And maybe that certain part of you is beneficial to your hopes, wishes, and dreams. And then you and that person come together, and that kind of helps you do something that you couldn't have done without that person. And the fact that my screen lights up when I said that and becomes like really clear pisses me off. So anyways, let's get to more. We have, I'm getting an offer today. We have Moon Rabbit, bro. These cards, these cards were shuffled. They are not like in groups. And there's no way that we could have rolled that cusp with those dice that have been put up for 2 months. 8 months, because that's the last time. If you look on my page, I posted a pick a card, a pick a card, and I don't even think I used them, but that is insane. The Moon Rabbit is literally the logo that they use for this cusp, even though it has its own. Oh, those were the bunny ears, dude. Okay, I could, because it looked like Leo upside down. That's crazy. It says surviving through emotional awareness. It says, that's why spirit's like, don't write in cursive. And I always be really rebellious. I'll be like, you can't tell me, or why not, Oh, instinct. Oh, instinct. Okay, because I have moments like this because I write like a doctor. I'll just say that. Surviving through emotional awareness, and then we have instinct rather than force. Gentle and playful. Yeah, I bet. Nothing serious, you say. Um, you also have hidden path walker, adaptable, shy, socially aware, curious, yet restless and intuitive. Ah, I'm getting off here. This is the goofiest shit ever. And then here is the infamous transit that I'm talking about, bro. I couldn't even find this card to tell y'all about the sign earlier. I went into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said that they didn't even know what it was, child. And I saw like y'all cannot trust this motherfucking shit to do nothing for y'all. So if you writing books or studying something, unfortunately you're gonna have to rely on old school dot edu dot whatever, because ChatGPT said they didn't even know what this was. I'm getting off. This is it. You feel driven driven toward, okay, you feel driven toward miss, okay, that's what happens, I guess, when you channel your own, you write on shit. I need to work on my penmanship. You feel driven toward mysteries others fear. Okay. Oh, okay. I be scaring people. That's crazy. And I'm just playing. You guys probably do. We have omens again, so watch out for a sign. Okay. I don't know what this is about. That's crazy. Um, get some black tourmaline, and it says blue lotus, and juniper. So some sort of roots and herbs. Um, maybe some of you guys are interested in opening a store, or whoever the entrepreneur was, where it talked about baths and salts and beauty stuff. Um, something about Etsy. That was crazy. That came out of nowhere. Um, hmm. I mean, there's the your thoughts about right and wrong. I don't know if you have beliefs issues or your family got belief issues, but there's an I would literally put unbalanced. I didn't even know that's a word. I thought it was imbalanced, but unbalanced. Um, what was the other word? Unbalanced. I don't know where it went. Somewhere, but it was something about like you want to do something. Oh, but there was some limited beliefs or something probably. Um, what is your what is your I'm all over the place at this point. This was too much for me. Um, what is your intuition warning you about? I be fighting mine because I be like, oh no, I'm wrong. Oh no, it's my personality. Humans do that. Humans be thinking what they want to think and calling it their intuition, right? And some of y'all like, girl, not me. My intuition, everything. What spirit say? What is it warning you about? All right. We have to let go of uh, caniculus, right? Um, yo, uncertain spaces. It's a Gemini for some of you, a messenger, an artist for some of you, or just a Sagittarius possibly, or a traveling spirit. Like they come and go, man. They in between dimensions, and y'all only know each other maybe because y'all old souls, but this person ain't never just done right ever. It also talks about being mindful of spiritual interpretation because it says natural storyteller. Or maybe it's not even being mindful. It's just saying that you or a person in the environment are spiritually interpreters. That's Gemini's energy though. Someone who's communicative, articulate, but is also considered like a messenger, and I ain't gonna say a time traveler, but someone who is probably well versed through time. Okay. Soulmates, twin flames have histories throughout time. And the only reason why I said That the first part and bust out laughing because release was like really, really right there. And then we have beneath the surface. So either like someone who's being approached is gonna release this person, or they're releasing something that's beneath the surface, which could be the hidden feelings and the truth that they wanted to communicate about. To liberate, it's an initiation to liberate somebody from limited beliefs. Okay, when that happens to me, I'll tell you, your intuition to tell you something, and especially readers or therapists, life coach, parents, anybody who gives advice or has a hunch when helping somebody else, because we do so good, with that. It's going to come a time when it's a hunch, an intuitive thing, or nudge when it has something to do with you. And like I just jokingly did, giving the example, you're going to play it off and be like, nah, nah, nah. And then it's not bad. It's not anything that I'm projecting onto you, or like hope for you or nothing like that. It may happen to somebody. It may not happen to you. It's for somebody else, but an experience will happen to make you say, damn, I'll be right. You know what I mean? I love those, honestly. And they're usually funny. It ain't always some shocking, heartbreaking, like crazy stuff. Okay. But I'm gonna leave it there. Cause when I jokingly said that, I said, Spirit, why you always have me sounding like, what I'm saying, the home girl that drove, that don't want none of her friends to go home with the people they met. Or like, what I'm saying, rich auntie or something. Where I'm be like, don't do that, and don't do that, and don't do that, and don't do that. But I don't know. So these are so cute. I'm getting a lot of crystals and herbs. I feel like it's a message for whoever that person is that is into Etsy or bad bombs and all that kind of stuff. We have Sagittarius, ninth house. Jupiter, very expansive, with Sagittarius, a truth seeker. We have Wild Wanderer, cosmic archer, which means pretty much, just the logo of Sag. They shoot for the stars, which talks about shooting stars and seeking for truth. Excuse me. Energy, freedom, exploration, expansion, hunger for meaning and bigger picture. So for some of you guys, the release comes from the needing to look at the bigger picture. This pain can transform into wisdom. That's coming directly from Metatron, Ophiuchus, all of you who are mystics that believe in destiny swapping, or just like archangels or ascended masters that are strong for change, helping, healing, but more so transformative. Like, nah, I don't want this. Well, to change it, baby, it has to be at a molecular level. I always wanted to say that word. They use it on all the sci-fi movies. And speaking of sci-fi, it says technology. And oh my gosh, see, I'll be right. Here's major perspective shifts coming about, or maybe that you've had. We have authenticity and being difficult to access. Okay, like, what I mean, I don't know. So just be mindful of that. For some of you, difficult to access is because you're sensitive in nature. You if not absorb the energy of others, just too much energy in your environment causes yours to scatter a bit. So just be mindful. And I ain't gonna hold you. When I wasn't like, I just give examples after I do the intuitive message, not like projecting, because that's, like I said, so important to me. But my already collective, like when we just talk shit together, and so we're implementing how we talk to like new people who just want their information and go. So anyway, when I was in the environment where I was the slow down, like hermit, and I was in some soul, self-seeking, slow motion, right? And I don't know what technology got to do with it, but I had a Sagittarius in my environment, and my South Node is Sagittarius. Baby, something had to go. Somebody had to get on. Something had to change. And that experience does sound like something that has an omen, or was projected, or is some sort of divine intervention, snatch up, where what was supposed to happen is not going to happen, and it happens like abruptly, but for the best. Okay, it's like the best for you, and it takes this perspective shift to manifest it. Like, I'm not going to say, I don't like to say this because somebody have embedded into our brains through movies and stuff that entities and demons, oh, they need permission to enter. But God also gave free will. So I don't feel like God is going to go against your free will to move in your favor. It has to be in your heart. It has to be true. So you can't have no divine intervention. And I want to say unless God wants you to, but honestly, I just have to stand on. I mean, God can tell me different and not in a negative way. Don't be trying to be funny. But if I'm wrong, I'm okay with standing corrected before from what I've learned and experienced because of free will, because of universal laws, because of energy, cause and effect. So if there even wasn't some conscious being in control, which I doubt you guys really believe, it's some guy somewhere letting kids starve, and for it to be 3 billionaires on the planet and all the rest of the humans got $100, be fucking serious. But but for sake of conversation and you guys being all from different backgrounds, um because of free will and your soul purpose, it makes sense that it has to be true to your heart, because how will you know who you truly are or do some soul molecular level cleansing if somebody always saving you or telling you what to do? You ain't really working nothing out of your system. Feel me? So I get that. And maybe we just all collectively doing that, which is why it look like don't nobody give a fuck sometimes. But I don't know. That's a whole nother story. Let's see lastly what we got, because I am hungry. I don't know, Spirit, he want me to put this card down. I'm not afraid. That message came out for Aquarius with scattered energy. I don't know what sign it's moved to, but I can put some shuffle some cards out to see. But we have fragmented thinking, which is also connected to shadow Gemini. Ooh, hyper independent, difficult to access. So this is somebody standing on 10 that's like, think one thing, do another thing, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's playing games. But it's like deep down inside, there's something. Oh, are you trying to be funny? Ah, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's it sounds like somebody's trying to be somebody trying to be um what do you call it? Mature? Like somebody trying to have growth and maturity and do what they think is best. But it's like if there's a drop of something in your heart and it's like, okay, okay, just imagine a person saying, my ancestors don't play by me. You play by me, they're gonna get you. Or whoever, God don't play by me, God gonna get you. I don't know, whatever. And then it's an incy bincy drop of not meaning that shit, or not wanting harm for that person, or like being still like loving that person. And so your ancestors of God be like, we ain't finna do shit. Like I'm not for what? Because like we see there's something else there, and it's difficult to access, and it's from a past life. But it's true. Like something that you're not sure about is true, and it can be transformed into wisdom. Okay, so yeah, just become unreachable. For some of you, it's I don't know. This is I guess I got to take me out of it, but I don't know. It just sounds weird to tell somebody like becoming unreachable, being mysterious, being like people wonder. Can't know you. It ain't nobody that just sit up under you or know you too well. Like I don't know. It's some sort of power in that for you or something, and I think that that's super cool. So yeah. I mean, but yeah, it's just like personally, Spirit. Okay, I'm honest. Like Spirit said, become unreachable, difficult to access, and kind of like popping it, but not in a negative way. It's just I feel that it's very feminine. It's like divine feminine, and you ain't bothering nobody. It don't come from a dark place. There's no bad intentions. There's no hurt behind it. It's just something that Spirit said. And then it's my human self trying to make sense of why that would be important. I'm like, oh, it's sexier. Maybe you're trying to attract something, and that's the energy you need to not be that other energy that cause friction. You feel me? I get that because it makes sense. But sometimes what spirit got for you, I don't know what you got going on. And it making sense ain't my business. It ain't something I should try to make it do. So I try not to, but I'm honest with y'all. And I be like, Spirit, what do you mean? Like, cause that sound like some old, like, what are we doing? What are we trying to make her be? But that's between you and Spirit. And it's not bad. It just feels like, I don't know, like Spirit wants, in my opinion, like from my little Oak Cliff, Texas perspective, because this not channeled or divine. This is just like from what Spirit is saying to me, how I would regurgitate that. It sound like a person who they're not popping it. That's why I guess I can't say that. It's just I guess leave it where it's at. But it's really cute. It's just I don't want to say it girl either because a lot of those people be nasty. Like people who pop it on people or think they it girls and boys and shit, they be having like extra energy in that's unnecessary and ain't as wholesome as this feels. So it's just more so about maybe you just been through a lot and maybe you special and you're not gonna run into a lot of special people. So spirit is just giving you, I guess, the clarity you need or confirmation you need or assurance because it's hard being isolated or single or a fucking anomaly when you just want to be included or I don't know, whatever you guys want. But spirit is just like, I mean, you are, bro. So, or lady, you're special. You are different. To avoid anger, cause see now I'm just reasoning with it. Cause I'm like, spirit, you really want to tell them to just because that's I don't know. I know humans, and I know spirit know what they be talking about. But I don't want nobody to take the wrong way and then create another character in cycles of authenticity. Because I know what Pluto and Aquarius is doing. I know what Saturn and Pisces did. And thanks to Spirit, like I was directed to actually know some shit and not just like interpret tarot cards, no disrespect. So it's like I can't tell them to be authentic and then get them something else to be like, ooh, mysterious and sexy and shit. But for the outcome you want, or I feel like it's more of a remedy for something that could negatively affect or misinformation to the universe, you being unreachable, maybe you even show yourself like you ain't out there trying to work too hard, you ain't trying to do too much, and you're not in need. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, I get what the energy is, but it's like usually the type of people who are like that, I don't have to tell them to be like that. So I was just trying to understand what we was doing, but it's not my business. Okay, you're different. I now want to say all the names from the zodiacs that came out. Spirit said, I was there. I was there with you. Yeah, I felt it. It's just like you are different and it's just going to be like that, bro. And then trying to mingle with everybody or trying to do everything or wanting to be the center of attention or wanting to be normal. It's you. Hello. Like, okay. But heavy on the Gemini energy. I don't know your connection to Gemini. We also have heavy Taurus energy. This is the present moment. Watch out for synchronicities in Taurus season. It does talk about music, touch, nature, good food, ritual, and emo security. So doing something over and over, doing something cleansing. This is the time for it because it's a grounded energy. So if you want to do something, open up a portal yourself. This could be a good time. A calming presence that makes you feel safe, protected, and healed. Hello. That might be coming up for you. It says ancestral connection. So maybe you getting over a karmic or say fuck a twin flame and you get in one of what do they say? The practical magic. You getting somebody that make more sense, honey. But to not reduce this down to human interactions, ancestral connection is a person that is a generational curse breaker, is a once in a lifetime type of person, and you were the person to do that within a whole family tree. And I'm not talking about the family tree that's alive with you now. I'm saying there are others like you, but they're on the other side. And you are just the one that's supposed to do it now in this time. You know what I mean? I think that's very dope. You are also the type of person that does get spiritual gifts, and divine wisdom from something most people would never experience or understand. So that's kind of good. I really like that. But it also could talk about the connection, like I said. All right, that's it. I'm over caniculus. Me and caniculus. I've had enough. I've had enough of caniculus, and I really appreciate all you guys stopping by. Until next, turn your notifications on. Connect with me. If you say I've been following you for 7 to 8 years, undo it and redo it so you can refresh it. Because a lot of people don't get my notifications when I come on. I am gonna start uploading videos so y'all don't have to watch it. And if you want to skip past when I get long-winded and shit, and then it'll look better. Cause I'm fancy and shit, but Spirit been telling y'all to not be picky, perfectionist and bougie and shit. So I was just like, well, I'm supportive. Let me also just show up, and we're gonna all be where we at and love each other. But I am definitely gonna start uploading these videos. I wanted to try streaming because that's how I started, and then I don't know, Spirit just had me streaming on TikTok. So I was like, it don't ever be my choice. I'd be like, what is we doing? And then it happened again, but just another app. So I don't know what's going on. My point is, if you hit the notification, you'll know when I get videos, because when I upload them, some of you could be asleep. Some of you are in other countries. So I don't want you, because the video been uploaded for 19 hours, to never see it. Because some of you guys see me online and come right in here. But when I upload videos or a day or two pass, you may not receive the notification. I've been told. So if you refresh our connection, is what I call it. So undo it and then redo it, whether that's subscribe, follow, whatever. And then turn your notifications on for my page or my channel. If you don't like notifications on your phone, period, I respect that. But if you're okay with notifications, even if it's like a silent notification, you will be alerted when I'm online. But I'm not a narcissist. Like, if you don't do notifications and all your notifications off, I'm not saying, oh, turn your notifications on just for me. But those of you that have notifications, like, put me in there. I would appreciate that. But yeah, that's it, baby. I can't take no more caniculus. And I ain't gonna even say it for personal reason. I just feel like Spirit be trolling. I don't feel like trolling right now. But it was so fun. And like I said, thank you guys for tuning in.